everybody? Welcome to the 9
I'm blocking her
show. Super happy to have y'all here. Let's get right into it. We got a lot to go over today. We have a new battle pass, a huge new event, tons of skins, some crazy balance and quality of life changes, but we're going to get all of that in just a second. I'm Titan Dandy. Super pleasure to be here. And our two beautiful guest hosts, which I'm sure y'all will recognize, got to introduce yourselves. Lermy?
Well, I'm Lermy. I'm a god designer on Smite, obviously, since we're all here for that. But I think the more important guest here is our good friend Aggro.
Come on, that's not more important, Lermy. No, Lermy and I are now associate god designers together. You know, we're in it together. But yeah, I'm Aggro. You might have seen me on SPL previously, but joining the design team and the dev team, and super excited to be here on this end of the update show for once.
Yeah. Well, we're super excited to have you, and y'all go easy on him because he's very camera shy. He told us that beforehand. He's kind of new to this.
Yeah.
So we're going to dive right into it with actually our eight.
You can only pray.
Last year. We have our 9.2 bonus balance, which is going to be coming out on
These are the nerfs.
March 8th. And before we get into this, I just want to start off by saying it's been a crazy year so far. Season 9 hit hard, hit fast, and so many things have been changing, and are even still changing.
Not that many things are changed.
As a community manager, I just wanted to start off by saying that we see everything y'all say. A lot of my job is going through and making sure that we look at everything that y'all are saying. It's getting that feedback is imperative to what we do, not only on the community side, but on the balance side as well. So as we continue to evolve through Season 9, continue to give us this feedback. We're going to continue to look at things like the damage, which we hear a lot of feedback about and how crazy it's been in Season 9. And we're going to keep working to adjust that and make Smite as fun as possible for players like y'all.
Yo, they're doing damage control.
Penetration and some of the crazier items and for warriors, such as the Berserker Shield, which we're going to get into here shortly.
That'll boost them everywhere. They're so quiet.
This is just imperative to us as a community, hearing y'all, and also to the design team. And
they know.
Yeah, I think that the big thing for us here is that, you know, we are hearing your feedback. I know
they know the player base is going down.
A lot of feedback.
People are raging.
Amount of damage in the game, where that damage is coming from, at what time. You know,
They've never done this before. I've never heard them do this before.
And we're spending a lot of time talking about it as a design team, trying to get to the bottom of it. We've got a couple of really targeted nerfs this patch that we think are going to make a really big difference in how you feel playing the game, but we really encourage you to continue to play PTS in particular, play with some of these changes, and keep giving us this feedback because this is our top priority moving forward as a design team.
Absolutely. We want to be sure that we're getting this as holistic as possible too. So please be sure to check out the notes, read on up, study on up, and again, like Aggro said, play the PTS, and we are willing, of course, to make adjustments if there's anything out of line. Don't think that this is just set in stone, like
they're actually like beginning with damage control. That's weird.
If there's something that you feel like is way too strong, please, please, please let us know. We will address it.
Yep, 100%.
Yeah, that's one of the most important things that, again, we just can't reiterate enough. We're driven by the community. A lot of what we do is driven by y'all. So if there's something that y'all think is crazy and needs to change to make the game better for everybody, lay it on us. We're gonna hear it. We're gonna work on it.
It's good to hear them saying this, but it doesn't mean shit. Like, you know what I mean? I don't give a fuck about words anymore, dude.
These penetration nerfs.
Too grown for that shit.
It looks like there's several items: Spear of Magus, Divine Ruin, Spear of Desolate. I mean, we're touching Magic Pen. Who wants to get in on that?
Yeah, they're not fixing the servers.
Everyone was expecting me to come in.
The server people are playing Elden Ring.
But unfortunately, to my mage brethren, we have to take a little bit of an L here up front. Look, all of these pen items, we changed them recently as a whole. They've been nerfed as a whole recently. We've had a tough time finding the middle ground for them, right? They've been too weak at 10
just taking 3 flat pen off all the items.
And now they are clearly a little bit too strong.
They're nerfing the tier 2?
We don't want to go back to having all these hunters in mid and all that kind of stuff, because remember, not that long ago, mages weren't being played a whole lot in the mid lane, especially at a high level. So
we're losing
trying to find this
6
middle
flat
ground.
pen.
We decided on 12 instead of 13.
In the normal mage build right now.
You know, err on the side of caution a little bit. But I'm interested to see, you know, it's not as clean of a number, but I think that finding this middle ground is going to be really key to how these items feel. And certainly, cost, power, all that kind of stuff is on the table, but
10 would have been a true nerf.
We've been so back and forth on this penetration number. We wanted to try this middle ground and just see kind of how it felt.
Yeah, exactly. Just want to feel it out, and hopefully we will not go back.
The main patch, they're gonna buff something like Book of Thoth, dude. Watch, guaranteed.
New middle ground.
Guaranteed. They're about something. I don't know what, but something.
It's mid lane, so we should be in the middle ground, right? Like that's how it's supposed to work.
That is exactly how it should be. But middle's not the only thing getting touched. We also have another nerf coming down the pipeline, or kind of a shift actually, for Seer of the Jungle. So, I mean, Lermy, what's happening with the Seer of the Jungle?
Sure. So Seer of the Jungle kind of became popular, not really overnight, right? So people have been opening up to this item a little bit more. But basically, there seemed to be some kind of internal cooldown that is on it. We don't want that to be a thing. We want you guys to be able to use this really
Where the
awesome
fuck did
ward
this
to
come
passive
from?
as much as possible.
What?
So,
Who the fuck is building Seer of the Jungle over and over again?
Down in terms of its power level, just a little
This
bit,
means nothing.
so
Like,
that it's
I don't
not
even give a
too
fuck.
insane.
I build Protector anyway.
Now always see wards, and this item is insane around Fire Giant, by the way. So if you haven't tried this item,
It's great
definitely
for
give it a
ward
shot.
control.
This power change is just a little bit of tempering to give that.
This doesn't affect casual or ranked. Ain't nobody warding in the first place.
Well, when you have designers telling you buy it on the show, probably something you should do for sure. So next up, it looks like we're having a relic, and this is the last item for the bonus, but we're having a relic get touched on, and that's Belt of the Berserker is actually having a little bit of a nerf as well. So what's going on with that, Aggro?
Yeah, recently we saw our SPL play-ins, which was an awesome tournament, and Belt of the Berserker was really, really dominant.
All right, well, this changes
really
nothing.
Playing around those objective plays
At
and
all.
that kind of stuff, which we like to see.
If
We
anything,
want players to be generating fights around.
It makes
both
mages
games
not have as much
but
damage, so now
this
warriors
item's
are
a
even more
little bit
potent,
too
and
strong
tank builds are
whenever
more
you initially
potent.
pop it. So we're bringing down that top end. I don't know about Lermy, but I certainly still expect Belt of the Berserker to be a premier relic, especially for frontliners. So I don't think this is going to really take this out of high-level play, but just bringing down that top end a little bit and trying to get our players to use as many of these cool new relics that we've introduced in Season 9 as possible.
Yeah, absolutely. Just to add on to that really quickly, I think one really cool strat that has come out of this is that popping the Frenzy on wave 1 in Duo.
Yep.
So again, that's not getting changed at all.
What up,
It's really
brains?
just this upper level
60 months,
of it
thank you,
that
dude.
needs to come down just a little bit. So still try out those really fun strats. Give it a shot. But again, the upper limit of what this item can do coming down just a smidge.
Yep.
Awesome. Well, that sounds good. And that's going to do it for the items, actually, in the 8.2 bonus. So, again, look out for that on March 8th. That's when all that's going to drop. But we have some Godbounds we're going to get into. And I feel like this is going to hurt a little bit. But, hey, Aggro, it looks like we're getting a Zeus nerf.
Yeah, they're nerfing Zeus.
I start off by doing mage pen nerfs and Zeus nerfs. Is this the joke? That all of my favorite stuff gets worse for the patch I become a designer?
We couldn't have planned this.
Look, I mean, the reality is that Zeus has become very, very good since his buff towards the end of last year. And, especially with the idea that everyone is a little bit concerned about damage, I think this is the right area to touch him. He still has that survivability that was added to the AO2. That feels really good, but just bringing down a little bit of that detonate damage, making him, look, as much of a Zeus
What up,
player as I am,
Seraphim? Thank you for the prime sub.
Detonate's not exactly a hard ability to use, guys. You kind of just press 3 and they go boom. You'll go slightly less boom, maybe a little bit more pow and less.
Thank you, Sarah.
With this change.
Still got the comic book words.
Why
still
are
got
they
the
so
effect, just maybe
focused
not that
on
extra
mages
effect
right now?
that
Like,
everybody
Zeus
else
is
seems to
annoying,
be
but definitely can deal with him.
We're kind of following
Not
the line with the
OP.
next nerf. Also a mage. Soul is having a little bit of work done. Looks like 2 unstable manifestations. So what's going on at the Lermy?
Yeah, so Sol has seen
Welcome back,
a couple of
ECO.
nerfs over these past couple of patches because she really has stood far and away as the best magical ADC out
Decrease
of
the
bunch.
buff.
And so this is basically just going to touch that upper limit of her unstable manifestation. So when you do hit that top end, you were getting 20% damage to your auto attacks. Now it's only going to be 15%.
The
so it's
buff.
still really, really good. It's an insane passive, but it's going to be a little bit less good.
And it's not touching the magical power.
I'm recording, Tally.
Either. There's multiple components to this passive, and so you still get more power to your basic attacks, but now it's just that last increase that you were getting was 20%, now 15%. She's still going to obliterate towers and gods whenever she has full passive. I think she'll still be feeling good.
Honestly, it's not the damage.
That's
scares me,
actually
it's
interesting, 'cause
fact
the
that
passive
word
is a
soul
huge problem.
Untargetable go hand in hand and make
Still gonna be good.
because I can never finish that fight. So
Yep.
that's cool. Next up, looks like Izanami is getting a little bit of a general nerf, just some general things. So what are they touching with? Izanami there?
Yeah, I think the big thing here for Izanami is that we saw her finally become that high-level ADC that we always felt like she could be. So many iterations on this god. She finally started to see SPL play, and then she kept seeing SPL play, and kept seeing SPL play, and kept seeing SPL play. And we ended up with a fairly heavy Izanami meta over the last year. And for most players, I don't think they view her
Was I
as
watching
that type of
different
randomly
games?
oppressive wave clear. There are other characters that you can do that with in conjunction, but at a high level in particular, her wave 1 pressure was particularly good. And so instead of making every hunter worse at level 1 by nerfing some itemization that she might be picking up or something like that, we're just targeting her base stats so that hopefully her level 1 and 2 in particular will get a little bit worse, and then she can scale to the point where she was still feeling very good in the late game. I still anticipate that she'll feel good there.
Yeah, I mean, I've always loved the kit. I always love how this character feels. And I always hate how playing against her feels because, I mean, she's designed to be scary. And
For ranked and casuals, just play fucking Hou Yi and have fun.
Next up, new to the Battleground, we have Shiva. Been here for a little while, but had a very strong presence on landing, you know? So getting some nerfs for Shiva to kind of bring into the realm of fairness a little bit. Lermy, you want to talk about what those might be?
Yeah, so there's a couple of changes actually coming to Shiva in this next bonus update here. So,
oh my god,
we're actually going to be touching basically a lot of his survivability.
Scaling?
One common complaint about Shiva is that he has a ton of CC immunity in his kit, or just general like ability to live through a lot of these fights. So to do that, we're going to be decreasing the damage mitigation on his 3, and also on his amplification there with the ultimate, and a little bit of damage onto the 1, which is his main clear. So again, Shiva has really surprised us. We were super happy with how he launched, but again, as is tradition, we have to take the new god down just a little bit.
Yeah, I think in particular, you know, we talked earlier about getting PTS feedback and that kind of stuff. Shiva's one that we're going to be watching really particularly closely for PTS feedback. So all you Warrior players out there, please continue to play Shiva in PTS. Let us know. Players playing against Shiva, let us know if you still feel like he's a little bit too strong. You know, obviously Shiva has been very exciting to have on the Battleground, but I've been getting tossed around like a ragdoll a whole lot. So we're keeping a close eye on Shiva in particular going into PTS.
Yeah, and again, that we said at the beginning.
Well,
PTS
Shiva's still going to be just as OP.
It's where we do a lot of our balancing.
It'll affect nothing.
So give us this feedback, you know.
Yeah.
Let us know,
Absolutely.
like, if he's, we don't want to make him weak. We want everybody to be fun to play. And in a perfect world, all of the items and all the gods would be fun to play to some capacity. So really continue to give us that feedback as we move forward, because we don't want to remove the fun. We just want to make it fair, which is crazy hard line to hit.
Always.
So next up, Gilgamesh, also getting a nerf. Warriors are super strong right now. It doesn't surprise me. Gilgamesh has been a threat, but
why is it just scaling?
Yeah,
nobody's
we're really
building power.
In particular, you know, talking about high-level play and what we saw last year, Gilgamesh was a huge part of what we saw both in jungle, primarily in jungle, but also a little bit in solo. We want him to be in solo a little bit more. He's a warrior. That's ideally where he is more often than not. And so we're just touching his damage a little bit. We've seen 10% scaling nerfs be very impactful for solo lane warriors in the past. He's getting 2 10% scaling nerfs. This is on his 3. And on the initial
This is what I was worried they were going to do as a
I
fix.
think that his initiation power is probably going to go down a little bit with this, specifically with full power builds. But that tanky bruiser style of Gilgamesh
Joel, thank you for the 12
feels
months.
changed a whole lot and can still do what he wants to do in those types of moments.
Awesome. I mean, hate to see it because I love Gilgamesh. I played a lot of Gilgamesh, but also love to see it a little bit because, again, it's just one of those where you love a god that you love playing being strong, except for when you're playing against them.
Right.
So next up looks like Bastet also getting a little bit of a nerf as well. It doesn't super surprise me again.
Watch them hit Bastet's flat damage.
Especially like ever since the new patch. It's been threat
Oh
after threat
my
after threat. So what
god,
are we doing to
bro.
bring Bastet
I
back?
can't anymore.
Yeah, so we've, again,
I
nerfed Bastet a couple
fucking
of
can't
times in the past
anymore,
few
dude.
patches. Her rework was super, super successful. We know that a lot of people love this new ultimate. But
This
we
is
think it's time to
fucking
kind of
just the
touch
dumbest
other
shit I ever
aspects
saw
of
in
her
my
kit.
life.
So for this nerf in particular, we're going to be touching Pounce and bringing down the damage from that a little bit. I think a lot of people will be surprised how much damage that this ability does. I mean, it's her escape, technically, right? So when you use
And
it
they
on
nerfed
someone,
it by
does a lot more
fucking
damage than you
40
actually think
late
it does.
game. What
So
the
we're
fuck?
bringing that down to at least take off a little bit off of her top end. Those higher end players that are more willing to jump in and use that as an aggressive tool, you know, they're not going to be doing it necessarily as well as before.
Yep.
Cool. Glad to hear it. Again, the cat's been horrifying ever since it showed
Oh
up. I'm not
my
gonna dance around
God,
that.
dude.
It's just what it is.
Yep.
So our last god nerf for this bonus patch is going to be Fenrir. Fenrir is kind of having a lot of different things touched, but it makes sense. Another strong assassin, another great god. So Aggro, if you want to kind of get into that.
Yeah, Fenrir is one of these gods, and we'll talk about another one a little bit later on in the
Yeah.
patch notes show, but that is being played a lot, but not necessarily with the type of style that.
Oh,
Fenrir in
holy
particular,
fuck.
he's seeing a lot of play.
Yo,
As
they
either
nerfed
tank
the
jungler
shit
or
out of
just straight
Fenrir.
up support, built mostly
Holy
tanky.
fuck.
And a lot of that threat from him as a tank
Holy
initiator is centered around Ragnarok. So
They nerfed
you
the
think that he was
fuck
getting a
out of
little
his
too much
whole-
time to run
holy
around.
shit.
Not too long ago, we buffed his movement speed in Ragnarok.
Yeah.
We like how that feels. We like that he can actually.
He's
use
gonna
it as
just
a
get
little bit more of
clapped
an
in his
escape
ult.
tool, but we're reducing the amount of time that he can run around by a second. His bite will last a little bit less time, and that will give you the opportunity to hopefully escape a little bit more.
Yeah.
You won't be held in place quite as long. And then this last change about the protections, previously his protections were doubling whenever he had full runes. And that just helps those who are building tanky. You know, when you have a lot of prots, doubling them seems
Everyone's
great.
building tanky
Eventually,
right now.
It wasn't paying
Every
off
roll
because you
that would play Fenrir.
you ended up overcapping.
Yeah.
But with this change, we think that Fenrir can hopefully build a little bit more damage oriented and then actually feel those flat protections being added in, especially in the early game whenever he's ulting at full runes. So there's another god that we're going to be watching very, very closely at a high level and during PTS and that kind of stuff. So please give us your feedback on this. Fenrir is definitely one that we're going to be keeping an eye on.
Yeah, for sure. And again, that's going to wrap it up for the bonus for 9-2. So again, March 8th, you're going to see this go live not very long from now. Just make sure that you're keeping an eye on all of this. We're really trying to push to make these changes to make Smite as fun as it can be for everybody. Season
They don't
9
drop
is crazy.
skins in the
It's
patch,
just gonna
the
keep
bonus
getting
patch?
Crazier, but crazy good, not the other kind of crazy. So moving on from there, we're going into a skin section actually. There's going to be obviously some bonus skins coming with this section, and we're excited to show them off to you all, starting with the Haunted King Chest and Haunted King Thor.
Oh my goodness.
Look, green's my favorite
Cool
color.
skin
I
that's
love it.
super overused
For
in
no other
Smite,
reason
but
that
it's a
green.
cool skin
But
for
also,
Thor.
just the Thor's hammer is like such an iconic part of who he is as a god and his kit and Smite in general. So I love whenever we go that extra mile on his hammer in particular, and his hammer on this skin in particular.
Thank you, Tally.
Phenomenal.
Absolutely fantastic. And like you said, just that radiant green color just pops so much.
Oh wow, yeah, look at that in game.
Yeah, it's gonna be an echo pack, voice pack,
really
isn't it?
Stands out even amongst like that still greenish background that he's sitting on. That is really popping, and that armor, like, it's so cool.
It looks awesome.
Straight out of Elden Ring, dude.
Let's
It's green lightning. What could be cooler?
exactly. Let's hear what the voice line sounds like.
Anything worth a damn yet just got here.
The kingdom's army must grow. I sense many souls fitting for such a noble purpose.
Not as much echo as
I feel
usual.
like it makes sense.
Yeah, he's wearing a crown.
Yeah,
are you wearing a crown, Harrison?
No.
Okay.
I'm wearing a sweater though, and I like it a lot, so.
Yeah, would you rather be wearing a sweater or skull chest plate armor?
Hey, you know what's cool? Skull chest plate armor. So next up, we're gonna have the Kimchi Chest, and the Kimchi Chest is coming with Kimchi Mulan. Let's see what Mulan's got.
Whoa.
Oh, this skin. This
That
skin is
is
cool.
sick.
Yeah, I love this card art. For me, I don't know about you guys, but I determine what skin I pick a lot of times based on the card art. That's a huge part of my skin selection process.
That's fair.
And I don't play a whole lot of Mulan, but I can't think of another one that I'm picking over this.
That's solid cap.
It's giving Sentai a really big fight for me.
That's a
'cause I
lie.
love that
That is a
skin.
good skin.
That is a good skin.
But look at this skin.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, is she part of the SERQET gang, right?
Maybe, yeah. I thought I saw the Morgan Le Fay one in the background there.
No.
No, not Morgan Le Fay. The Morrigan, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, in the
Yeah.
background, the headmistress. So that's awesome. I love the purple. It really pops. So let's hear
champagne?
the voice line.
It's good to be part of something bigger than just high school.
I mean, same though, honestly.
Yeah, that's kind of a mood, to be
Yeah,
honest.
that is a bit of a mood. So
She should get her right arm checked out, though. That's not. That doesn't.
Yeah,
like,
there's something going on there. Does that
Yeah.
have to do with the horns too?
Yeah,
Well,
I think it might be.
Maybe where she's from, like glowing tattoos are just a normal thing for high schoolers. So
Oh, okay.
yeah, it's probably just a statement. So next up, we have two skins coming with the Dharmic Era.
That voice
event,
pack was
and the
an
first of
echo,
those
though.
two is Molten Doom Kuzimbo.
Oh.
Yeah, this
my
is
goodness.
awesome.
Looks badass.
I love the little Nene Kappa. in the
They're
corner.
Oh, that's so cute.
there's
Out
another
here
one
looking like
flying
some
through the background,
Ragnaros
too.
from
Yeah.
World of
Wow.
Warcraft.
Fireballs.
You got the big bad mean guy, and then you've got his little minions.
Okay,
are
that
a
looks
little
cool.
bit less
That's a really good
Oh,
skin.
are those like wings too?
They made his shell wings. That's
Holy
dope.
crap.
That is a really
Another
fucking good
part
skin.
of the update, he's getting Thor's ult now. He can fly. So.
I look forward to that Reddit post, Harrison.
That's fire, but I'm
Right, yeah, cut it.
nice,
Yeah,
Razy.
let's hear the voice line.
What's this? A ripe new realm eager for the taking.
Fair enough. Here to conquer.
Yeah, I think he'll burn through any enemies that are in his way.
Burn. I get it.
Riley, I don't think they're trolling. I don't think they understand. I really don't think they get the problem with Smite right now.
All right, so next up, and the last skin coming with the bonus, the 9-2 bonus here, is one I'm super excited about. We have Baked Perfection Obelisk.
Yeah, this is unbelievable.
This is just,
Is that
Yeah,
I mean,
well, it's
Bread?
I wish I would have thought of a bread pun for this exact moment.
I need the skin.
Yeah. There are moments,
What
I can
the
say
fuck?
now that I've recently joined the dev team, there are moments where like I get to go on the dev client and look for the new skins, and you just like stop at one
What
and
the
you're like,
fuck
I
am I
can't believe
looking
this
at?
is happening. This skin did it for me. Like,
Yeah.
as soon as I was looking at skins for this patch. Just absolutely unbelievable that we did this in a great way.
I mean,
Suku
yeah.
is baked to perfection.
Baked to perfection. You need to stop.
How much longer is Lermy on this couch?
Oh my god. All right, let's hear the voice line.
Loafcat and I are so happy to be able to bake something yummy for you all.
It's Loafcat.
I'm not gonna spoil it, but there is one voice line on this skin that made me legitimately laugh out loud.
Ban
while I was
Riley,
playing.
please.
You LOL'd?
I laughed out loud, Harrison. I'm saying it like a normal human.
Sorry.
No, it's all right. I didn't mean to call you out like that. No, it legitimately, like, I started laughing in the middle of the game. I can't wait for people to use this skin.
Awesome. Well, again, y'all can look out for this with 9.2 bonus. I'm going to say it again. Dropping March 8th. Keep your eye out for that.
I don't know what that skin was.
Right on the horizon of
All right,
that.
so this
and
bonus
again,
patch
those
is
skins are
trash.
Part of the Dharmic Era event. Super excited for them. I think it's going to be great. I am Loafcat. I don't know.
It's really good.
Next time we'll be better prepared with more puns. But
So Zeus nerf, mage nerfs, and these jokes. That's the trifecta that I've been greeted with.
Welcome to the
on my first
update
patch
show.
notes.
Yeah.
yeah.
What is this?
That was bonus
Thought you
patch.
might have been more prepared.
That's
but-
on next
Happy-
Tuesday.
Okay, good.
Anyway, next up we have community news, and there's some good community news. First up, Safebreaker Kali coming to Prime Gaming, so look out for that. This skin is going to be claimable on March 3rd, so if you have Prime Gaming, go ahead and hop over and claim that for yourselves. 4 arms means 2 guns, slingshot, swords, all kinds of things. So many of safes to be broken. And past that, we have some cool SPL news on the horizon here, starting with SEC closed bracket broadcasts, which are starting March 10th, I believe, as well as SPL Season 9 LAN kickoff coming March 25th. Right, I mean, it seems like that's a ways away. We just started March 25th, but that's right around the corner. It's going to be here before you know it. So make sure you're getting ready for that. Make sure you're stockpiling
3
your
weeks,
favorite
3.5
snacks
weeks.
and buying blankets to.
Nobody's
sit
watching
around
SPL because you
all
stream it at
hours.
11 fucking a.m.
Duh. And then we also wanted to let y'all know that the 2022 cosmetics are currently on sale in game for your favorite teams. So if you're wanting to rep your team, hop in there, grab those cosmetics while they're on sale, and rep your favorite team. We're getting ready for an amazing Season 9, because that's just what we do. Every season's going to be bigger and better than the one before, and with an amazing Season 8 having just left us, I think I'm ready for Season 9 to come in and be triumphant.
I mean, just imagine how smart everyone who bought the Atlantis Leviathan's in-game cosmetic at the beginning of the year felt after they won.
Oh, yeah.
That could be you.
That
if
could
you
be
just
you.
bought the right team's cosmetic now, before the season even started.
Exactly. If you can pick the right one
Amazing
right now,
Season 9 win?
then when SPL passes, if your team is the one that won, you can
I
be
can't
hey,
find
remember-
this amazing
remember in
Season
March
9 they're
when I bought
talking
that
about?
team
Where the
that
fuck
just
is it?
sounded-
For you.
Yeah,
And the best way to do it, by the way, is you just buy all of them and say you only got one.
Yeah, exactly.
that's true. Just don't tell your friends. Don't do it on stream or
You don't have
anything.
to know.
no one
yeah.
wants to know.
You'll be like, well, I totally called it like 8 months ago, and they'll be like, no way, and you'll be like, yeah.
Check it out. I got the avatar or whatever it is.
Yeah, exactly. You might not even want to bet that way, so
Yeah.
be prepared. So yeah, and that does it for community news actually. So that's super exciting. And next up, we have so we're getting into 9.3. We're getting into some quality of life changes that are coming up. And I mean, we are always striving for amazing quality of life changes. We're
So
always striving
give
to make
us
the game
the
feel
quality of
better
life
in
changes
whatever way
and
we
stop
can.
fucking
Again,
talking
that's part of
about it.
Community feedback too. Y'all tell us, hey, this could feel better, and a lot of times we're like, we're gonna figure that out for y'all because we love you. And some of the stuff that's coming up here is incredible. I am excited to share some of these quality of life changes, starting off with a little bit of an environmental art change. So, Lermy, I hear you're kind of a go-to for a lot of these.
Can
You
I
wanna lay
remove
down
fog?
What this means?
Yeah, so for a while now, the background in the home screen has been this really nice celestial kind of plane where the characters that go through the rotator are just kind of hanging out in. But now we've updated it to be this really
Yeah.
sick vista where you can stare out into this cloudy background of Olympus. I mean, just look at
The
it.
wrong fog.
That is an incredible update that our team has done. And,
They tried, dude. That's as close as they can get.
So good.
Awesome, and I hear that there's also some changes to the lobby screens when you're waiting to get into a game for both Order and Chaos. Is that correct?
Yes, so now on both Order and Chaos, you'll be seeing whichever side of the map that you're on, and that will be, representative of how that map looks in game. And if you're seeing a little friend up there on the top right,
I was just informed they are making a really good change for content.
Again, that'll be for
maybe not for the game, but for us in the community and content.
The Order and Chaos God Select screen. So just
I don't care what any of this shit looks like.
Super cool. Love that refresh. Love that new feel. But that's not all. We have more. And next up is we're doing a little bit of changing to the relic because we added all those new relics with the tier 3s and all. It's just crazy. And we're still
Zeus,
testing and figuring out how we can best navigate through this stuff. So
make it easier to navigate the new relic system.
Okay.
Well, that's true. They did need to fix that.
Reacting the way that you would expect when trying to.
Because you can't double click on that shit to buy it.
This is our first type of iteration.
You have to click on it and then go over to the side and then click on the bottom one and then go back to click on the tier 2. It's fucking horrible.
If you want something a little bit different, please let us know. But this is kind of our first pass.
But you are watching me. That's what matters.
How to buy these relics.
Yeah, and I mean, again, like with everything, we want to make the system as clean as we can, and we're going to continue to work to make it that way with y'all's feedback. Y'all are the people who play the game all the time. So when y'all are like, hey, maybe pass back by this, we're like, okay, we're passing back by it. Don't worry, got you.
Yep.
So the next thing is one of the things I think I'm a little more excited about personally, and we're doing some quality changes to the custom game modes and what y'all can do with custom games. And Lermy, do you want to lay out what those are?
Yes, so basically
there you
for
go.
a very long time,
Custom game settings, baby.
Kind of your basic way to play games with your friends, set up in-houses, set up scrims, but now we're improving it a lot more. There's going to be a ton of new features added to it. And this is really just our first pass. We want to keep adding to the system as we go along. But initially, we're going to be giving you guys a lot of extra tools, things
modifiers,
like
viewer games, baby. We're going to be a viewer game stream.
And we've also got a new system called templates, which will allow you to basically set up your game in a click if it falls under any of the specific common custom games. So think like your scrims, your match of the days, anything of that nature. Those are all going to be available as templates. So all you have to do is click it, add your password, whatever it might be, and you're good to go.
Yeah, and this is just something that we are incredibly excited about getting out to people. For those content creators out there, or just for those people that want to get on and you have 10 friends that you're going to hop in and play with and you just want to mess around. And
apparently they're really good.
Now you can do that better. You can get in and you can set up like, all right.
Double J told me the settings they have are actually really good settings for us to make content.
No cooldowns basically, and we're just going to push each other around all game. Whatever you want. We wanted to give people the power to create a little more and express what their game mode desires are.
Me and Double J
have a lot of fun
been asking for this.
But we're excited.
4 fucking years or 5 years, bro.
So those are the main quality of
game going downhill.
Touch on. Obviously, if there's always a little bit more that we don't get to here.
Add those modifiers.
7 hours long. So make sure to check the update notes. Those should be live right now to read all about what we just said and everything else. But now we're kind of getting into the balance, the 9-3 balance section. We have a lot to talk about here, obviously. And again, I mean, I'm going to emphasize this all show. It's all about y'all. It's all about the players. It's all about the feedback that y'all are giving us. So as PTS comes out after, a little later this week, make sure that y'all are really looking at what's going on and telling us what you feel about the changes we've made, because we're doing this for y'all. We're gonna, if y'all are like, hey, PTS was cool, except shoot that except towards us in some capacity. That we always have Reddit threads. There's always Twitter and stuff. We love to hear it. We love to work with that.
What are the odds that it works when they launch it?
Mode changes. We have Conquest is getting a little bit of just a few changes here, some balance changes. And I mean, let's talk about it. Do you want to aggro?
Yeah, sure. So let's kick it off with some towers, because this is feedback that we get a lot from a lot of different levels of players. Do our towers feeling impactful enough? In Season 9, the answer has been no. So this is what we're doing. We're upping the damage dealt to gods by 10%.
Okay, Harris.
The minions is unchanged.
All right,
it's
I see you.
How you
okay.
Or push
only tier 1, tier 2 though, but I see you.
To try and prevent these tower dives.
That's something. That is something. They're listening.
Feedback we've been getting a little bit, so hopefully this helps alleviate some of those concerns.
Yeah, awesome. And it looks like past that, there's also some changes to the Obelisk and the Nagas. So, I mean, what's going on?
Told you they were going to change the Obelisk some way.
So we've had some discussion about ways that we can improve the Obelisk mechanic. And one of the biggest points of feedback that we saw from it was that it was very, very, very impactful in the early game for Duo. And so we kind of wanted to not necessarily
increase the amount of time it takes to steal. Holy fuck.
And so some of the ways that we're doing this is by bringing down the sight radius on the obelisk to more so fit the art that is on the map. And then we're also going to increase the amount of time it takes for you to get an offering just by a little bit, so that if you see anyone going up to your
every time he says y'all. All right, Rogue, I need you to drink for me.
So Hopefully we see people still interact with the Obelisk in the same way because we love how it's been addressed so far. And we hope that these changes do positively impact the way that you play around it.
Yeah, I think that the big thing is we want there to be the opportunity for, if you're a support and you see their support roaming over your soul lane, you know the jungler's over there, that's an opportunity for you to go in and steal some of those offerings away. But we don't want it to be as easy as, I'm in the area, I'm going to walk up and can't
They should move the Obelisk, but move them off the fucking map.
To go in,
put them in Clash or some shit.
Rather than just being able to do it whenever you so choose.
Flash, sorry.
And then as Lermy said, when it came to the Nagas in particular, we saw that the dual lane meta has been, it's been very focused on that side of the map. That's somewhat by design, you know.
It could, Loki, but I bet you need a new Radiator.
It's easier objective to take in the early game. You know, we want fighting to be happening over there.
Of course.
But it was a little bit too much. So by no longer providing team gold for Nagas, we're slowing down the overall gold gain on the map in general, as well as trying to make sure that they're not going to scale.
Nagas no longer provide team gold.
The game went really long. The Nagas became very, very tanky. So the big deal is to make sure that we're trying to slow it down and make sure that the fighting is happening a little bit more appropriately, and that they aren't snowballing the game a little bit.
So they're removing a little bit of gold off of
that sounds
the map.
good. And the Obelisk is one of those things where it dropped, and as somebody who's not the most conquest savvy, you know, I got into using that, and I remember my first game as a tank, like grabbing the.
Well, you have like 150 gold.
I grabbed the Obelisk. I went
to
into
the team
team
total,
like
total to the team.
So powerful, just running people down as Atlas. So it makes
450 gold to the team every 4 minutes.
All right, cool. The last change
5 minutes
to
more likely.
Game mode specifically is Arena, some golden XP spooling, just getting dropped just a little bit. So why the move to drop spooling?
So basically, we wanted to make sure that the experience and the gold would kind of line together in the endgame arena. So this will kind of just slow it down a little bit, make sure that you get a little bit more time to play with all the new relics and the glyphs and all of those new awesome features that were brought in during Season 9. Slowing it down may seem a little like
Hello, Daedra, editor. You don't need to edit today. I'm just going to upload this straight to YouTube. I need a thumbnail, though.
I'm excited to give you guys more time.
So you're going to make a thumbnail with the patch notes page. That'd be solid.
New things, try them out, and get to that late game team fight.
And let us know if this is feeling any better for you Arena mains out there. You know, I know I've got a bunch of casual friends who all they do is spam Arena. I'm interested to hear what they think about these changes, and we'll definitely be keeping an eye on it.
Is this it? That's all the conquest changes?
It's all about the feedback. So.
Please
and I am
tell
one
me
of those
there's
casual
more.
acquaintances hoping to be a casual friend.
That's right. Yeah, you're on your way.
I'm earning it. I have to stop making
no more puns. Yep.
There you go.
Know.
So, but that'll do it for game modes in 9.3. Now we're on to items. So first off, kind of just a general change.
Berserkers and being
it's
reworked.
looking like glyphs are being touched a little bit, just the amount of glyphs you can buy, and it's being reduced to 1. Why is that?
So this is a little bit of future-proofing. So again, with glyphs coming in Season 9, we definitely wanted to plan this as a more longer-term feature in the game. So do expect that there may be new glyphs in the future.
No more breastplate and heartward?
But this is kind of to say, you know, when we have all of these new glyphs, we don't want people to
more
feel
Jotuns and
like they have to buy all of the glyphed items, right? So like if
no more Jotuns and breastplate?
I mean, you're probably feeling really good, right? So we want to remove a little bit of that variance. So now you kind of have to pick and choose which glyph that you actually want to buy. So you can still buy all of the items that have glyphs.
Relics aren't glyphs. Relics are just upgrades to tier 3s.
The big thing is, like Lermy said, we're looking for more glyphs, and as we come up with these ideas, it's like, yeah, this is cool, but like, what if they just buy that alongside Amulet of Silence? And we're like, oh yeah, that's probably not very good. So just trying to open up our design space a little bit. Yeah. This allows us to push that mechanic a
little
bit
the tier 4 items, Jotuns, breastplate, heartward, Deathbringer.
That makes sense. I mean, you know, especially like you said, if we add more in the future, pending, then there are just going to be so many opportunities for you to use these as a way to counter a scenario. You know, if you're falling behind and need that extra burst of damage or that extra bit of tankiness, it lets you pick and choose, so that instead of just saying, I have all the stats, you get to, it makes it
be
a
able
little
to degrade them.
Thoughtful, I guess. And I think
not
that's a really
degrade
cool
them.
change, because I'll have to admit, I hop into Slash, and I'm like,
whatever, revert it back to tier 3.
Yep.
So
and buy a different one.
You can.
It'll make me think, because I need a little bit more of that in my life. So next up, Amulet of Silence.
Also we're definitely getting more of these.
A little bit of a nerf, maybe?
At some
What's
point.
wrong with Amulet of Silence?
Just making sure that this trigger on Amulet of Silence goes where you want it. You know, before it would build up, and then you could auto your green buff as a support, and now the green buff silenced, and you're like, that didn't do anything for me at all. And now you go to a team fight, and it's not ready to go. So we're making this only apply to enemy gods. We think this will make this item feel a lot better for sure.
Got it. So more of a quality of life change. That's really handy because I'm one of those people who I get in
Daedra,
and I'm like,
thank you.
Yeah, they hit me with the abilities. Be quiet.
I am the coolest guy, you know.
So
Yeah,
good to change that around. So next up we have Thorns of Overgrowth, also seeing a little bit of change this patch. Learn me what's with Thorns of Overgrowth.
Yes, so we've been kind of keeping track of those like lesser bought relics, and so Thorns is kind of one of them, and so we wanted to kind of hone in on those super unique aspects of the variety of Thorns. So for this one, we're trying to just make it easier for you to get the bonus effects of the movement speed and attack speed. So we're increasing that radius, so now more people have to be worried about how close they're sitting to you, because 55 units, that's an auto attack range from range, so careful there, hunters.
Yep, got to be a little bit more worried about your positioning. And then on the other side, just to go on over the other thorns,
I feel like
Thorns of Sapping Strength, just increasing the
Thorns should
duration.
never be touched and should be dead in this current meta.
Just a little bit too short of a window for you to be able to actually time it properly. 2 seconds, you don't really have that as many opportunities.
Of course, yeah.
3 seconds might not seem like a lot, but that's 50% more. So, we're excited to see what people are able to do with the new Thorns buffs.
Giving Thorns some thorns. So it looks like Bracer of Illumination also kind of getting a buff. Looks like the cooldown's getting touched a little bit, so why is that?
Yes, so again, bracers were kind of on the lower end of the new relics that were bought, so we wanted to give this one a little more flavor in that this one actually has less cooldown now than the other upgrade, Bracer Brilliance. And so we actually also increased the range of the patrol that the little sprite does. So this will actually cover even more ground than it did before. And it actually goes a little bit faster too to compensate, so you'll be getting that back and forth.
I don't think people are gonna want that. Why the fuck, man? Maybe around an objective, I guess.
Like the space in front of Gold Fury.
Daedra, we do.
There's lots of really awesome places, and we've kind of yet to see people really work with this active as much as we want to. So hopefully people start experimenting with it, especially because that cooldown's gone down. That's a really
the Bracer is pretty nuts.
Relic.
It's
so
pretty
give it a
fun to
shot.
watch.
Show us your best places to put it. And we just want to see what you can do with it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, excited to see that too, because as somebody who plays support a lot and is not the highest level player
Can it be
ever,
seen by the enemy, and can the enemy counter ward it?
Getting to buy wards.
Yep.
So having a bracer that I could also use, or the bracer that helps with this, probably going to be super important, especially if I ever.
Okay, so that's actually pretty good then for like Fire Giant.
So the next thing, kind of big.
Yep.
We have Berserker Shield. It's getting what can only be described as a rework, and we've got y'all's feedback about warriors and about items like this. So let's get into it. What's with the rework here?
Yeah, so this is a big one for
Yeah,
sure.
for
Berserker
sure.
Shield. If you've been playing any Smite at all over these last few weeks, you've probably seen a lot of Berserker Shield on assassins, on warriors, wherever
What
they can
the
buy it,
fuck
they're
am I
buying it.
looking
It's
at?
Very, very strong. So we have pretty heavily restatted this item, brought down the power, upped the protections a little bit. But the key item to keep in mind here is that there is no longer any physical penetration. It used to provide 10% pen. That is completely gone.
Oh
from this
my
item. We think
God,
that is
what the
going to
fuck is
de-incentivize
that?
These assassins from trying to build it.
Yeah.
Also, the passive
It can be
trigger
built
trying
by
to take that
hunters?
away from offensive stats and make it more
What?
defensive. Damage mitigation usually feels much better whenever you're tanky,
Yeah.
so you can end up getting a little bit more out of this than you would with something else. And the other big note for Berserker Shield is that it was class restricted. Now hunters are going to be able to buy it, but we don't really want them to. We don't. That's not really what we're looking for necessarily.
Yeah.
But we think that this stat distribution isn't.
Why did they
particularly
give
attractive
hunters an
anyway.
item that has
But very excited
60
to see what
physical prots on
Yeah,
it?
I mean that's always
There's
something
no
that is
reason for
right.
them
You
not
like
to
open
build
the
it.
door because we do a lot of testing, we do a lot of thinking, but it's impossible for our net to catch literally everything. Sometimes y'all come out of pocket with these super crazy builds, and it's like, wow, we hadn't even imagined that. We hadn't even thought about thinking about that. So excited to see what y'all do with this, with all of these changes, and hoping that it fits a little better into the battleground, So next up, kind of another handful of changes on Aussie. So what all's happening with that?
So this isn't exactly really a change to Aussie, but it's more of a clarification.
I guess
we
a little
just want
clearing
to, between Aussie and between Berserker Shield, who kind of work the same way, we want to be sure that we're clear with how and when it activates. So basically, anytime that you are below the threshold, it will go off, and it will not reactivate below you until you go below that threshold again. So again, this is just a clarification. There is no actual change to Aussie specifically.
Yep.
Yeah, and always pays for more clarity because, I feel like there's no reason to expound on that. It wouldn't be very clear. So next up, we have Black Thornhammer getting a bit of a buff, actually. Looks like a physical touch-up.
Yeah, just 5 power here on Blackthorn. Not a huge change.
Hey, Jax,
but,
I appreciate
we've
you
heard from
as a
solo
human.
laners that they really prefer there to be aggression in their lane.
But I'm
The
back
problem
now.
is that we don't want these warriors to end up leaving their lane and then doing a little bit too much damage.
Where are the new stats?
We're going to be watching this item and a couple of others very closely.
Mostly
but
new? You mean
we wanna
mostly
make sure
old
this is a
stats?
viable path for some of these
And you
warriors
traded
that
out Pen for
really
lifesteal.
valued the stat distribution that we're really missing it after the nerf. 25 power, just a little bit too low. Hoping it feels a bit better at 30.
And it's
Got it,
cheaper. It's 2,400
well,
gold.
On the whole, shield thing, we talked about Berserker Shield. Let's give Spike Shield a little talking to. It's getting a buff kind of across the stat line. Why is that getting a buff?
Almost
Yeah, so
forgot to
basically
reset.
Spike
Good
Shield
thing I'm
is
actually
the
awake
tier
to
2 Void
reset
Shield.
today.
So
My
we were
schedule
kind of
has been
addressing a lot of
backwards,
these items
sleeping
that
all
we
day
haven't
and
seen warriors
staying
buy
up
in a
all
while,
night.
and so
Yeah.
Void Shield was definitely one of
Okay,
them.
that's a good
And
change
so
for people that
one of
want
the
to build that
biggest
item.
deterrents that we kind of believe came up with this item is that the distribution of how much money you need to spend to actually get to that tier 2 and then up to the tier 3, it just was a little bit too steep in that tier 2 variety, so we are going to bring
50 health is random. It should be
the cost of
100.
the tier 2 down. The tier 3
Yo,
will still
strong,
remain
but-
exactly the same price. So again, just shifting that extra amount of gold that you would have been getting from the tier 1 to the tier 2, now to the tier 2 to the tier 3.
Yeah, it just felt like you were sitting on round shield.
Danger, you
for too long
should.
if you wanted to build
It
a
would
Void
get
Shield. So this should
views.
just smooth the curve out. Doesn't make a huge difference at the end of the
Yeah.
day, but makes those builds feel a little
I'll upload the VOD, Danger.
Yeah, finish line is still the
Or
same
not the VOD,
spot.
sorry. Upload the patch notes.
Exactly.
Just
Super
this.
cool. Next up, we have, looks like the Gladiator Shield. Also, just continue talking about shields. Also, a little bit of change. What's going on there?
Yeah, Glad Shield, we're seeing auto attack warriors finally do better.
Yeah.
That's been a class and a subclass.
50
That's
HP on
struggled a
Glad
little bit
Shield, alright.
recently.
We got 5 power
But as
on
is-
Hammer
As is usual
and
when
50
it comes
HP on
to
Glad
warriors.
Shield.
When
We're
ability warriors
buffing
really
hybrid
good, they
items,
push out
guys.
Auto attack warriors, when auto attack warriors really good, they push out ability warriors.
I love
Trying to
it.
just bring that up to parity a little bit.
Yeah.
50 health on Glad Shield, not a huge buff, but one that we hope will make it compete with things like the new Berserker.
Real Delumina, thank you, man.
Well, cool. Another thing that we're touching are starter items, such as Leather Cowl, also getting a bit of a buff.
God, dude.
So why the better leather in the beginning?
Yeah, so right now we're kind of in an in-between meta between Gilded Arrow and Death Toll. We haven't seen Leather Cowl in a bit. We did nerf it a lot, so we didn't really want to give it more of those unique traits that it has, but we thought it wasn't really competing in the power department for hunters. So we wanted to give it 20 power to give it its own kind of niche as being like the really high power starter item. So this will kind of give it its own place to kind of sit in the meta. So hopefully we're seeing a little bit more balance between these 3 starter items for hunters.
Yeah, always good to try to keep those starter items in line. So it looks like it's one of the upgrades is also getting a little bit of a touch-up. So is that just to continue this trend of maybe seeing it a little more prevalently?
Yeah, definitely. Leader's Cowl is specifically not picked up very often, and we personally, at least between me and Aggro, we think this item is secret OP.
I think it's good.
People don't really pick this up because it can be super high variance, so we're trying to reduce the variance a little bit more, give you guys a little more options when it comes to those late game fights. Now we're hoping to see
Razy
you
sent me
guys pick it
something.
up so you play with it and get that secret OP strat going in your ranked games.
So you heard it here first. When they say secret OP, you got to keep
Tweet
those
it.
ears open because
Tweet it,
you're gonna
Razy.
hop in, you're gonna pick this up, and all of a sudden you're gonna be winning games, and people are gonna be like, "What's your secret? You've gotten so good." Watch the patch notes. You heard the secrets.
That's right.
So next up, Kinsai is getting a buff as well. Just looks like a little cost decrease, right?
Yeah, I think that overall, we're paying pretty close attention to hunters.
Yeah.
We hear that it's a pretty vocal community in general. We hear where they feel in relation to their ability to kill tanks versus squishies and all that kind of stuff. And we think that overall, chin size is not exactly where we want to see it in its purchase rate. Just bringing it down a little
is
bit.
this?
Hunter builds are generally fairly cheap.
Why
Chin
are we
size is
cheap?
2700 is
Why?
one of their more expensive items.
Why?
Trying to bring that a little bit closer, trying to accelerate them to that point where they can feel strong up against those frontliners in particular.
Yeah, cool. I mean, I'm not a very ferocious hunter player, let's say, but always helps to have a little bit of an open door,
Yep.
100 gold change to Kins isn't going to affect the
also
tank
getting a little bit
meta.
of a touch up. Looks like the cooldown is being edited a little bit, right?
Yeah, so this item is actually pretty good, but the problem is that it's got very high variance again. You have to keep fighting with the individual that you mark to get
Kin
this,
should have been,
this
like,
stamp up
actually
and give you
buffed to
more
kill
extra damage
tanks.
against them. So we felt like those high variance situations where you weren't actually getting that attack back and forth very much, that was happening a little bit too often. So we wanted to increase the frequency that this effect was actually happening so that you could see those better situations a little more often.
Cool, which is good.
That's a good
every
change,
time I've picked that
especially
up,
since
I'm
you can only
in
buy
the same
one
boat. I'm
tier
like,
4
all right,
now.
I just picked the fight. I kind of got to not pick a fight for a while. And you play it cautiously, so being able to get in and war a little more, I like. Katana also seeing a little bit of a buff, kind of a simple item here, just a cost decrease. Why the cost decrease?
Yeah, there's a couple of katana notes here. I would
Yeah.
say.
You can
we
start
went
with a
through.
hog.
Yeah, exactly. So katana, the base tier 1 is going from 650 to 600.
Yeah.
And we've just seen mace really dominate the starter options for junglers.
So you,
because
now
they're
you can
that
go
fast
mannequins
and
katana,
so
right, and
strong.
start
But we want to
fucking
incentivize
with a hog.
junglers that might want to go into a katana early, a little bit more auto attack focused ones. To
So
feel a little bit
Arachne
better
now can
about
have
the
hog.
path. So katana's getting a slight cost decrease.
Yo, I'm
So
about
is
to be in
1,000
your
gold blade
fucking
to
duo
2.
lane, killing you
Both
before you
those are
kill your
going down
purple
by
buff.
50 gold each. And then we see a lot of serrated edge. We didn't think that really needed a cost decrease alongside these.
Yeah.
And Golden Blade as well, already the cheapest tier 3 item of the game. Didn't want to lower that anymore.
Yeah.
So that brought us a
Stone cutting's
sword and
cheap
Ancient
as
katana.
fuck
Both of
now.
those are inheriting this 50 gold decrease. So if you're building into one of those 2 katanas, you're going to feel 50 gold less.
Stone cutting gonna
the
be
whole time.
probably picked up over
If you're
Berserker
building
Shield
into
on like
something
Nem and
serrated
shit.
edge,
No.
you're going to end up still needing the same amount of gold.
Especially if
overall.
hunters
It'll just be a little
do
bit quicker
figure
to
out a way to put that Berserker Shield in their builds.
Yeah, and again, it's that whole, like, the finish line feels very similar, but it's the checkpoints along the way, you know, changing up when you can get to those tier 2 items and such, just to see how it feels, to see if it feels any better, because that's the whole goal, to make it feel better.
Yep.
So, and past all of those, so that was a lot of sword talk. Let's move on to a crown. Jade Emperor's crown. Looks like it's getting a buff as well, to a couple stats, really.
Yeah,
Or
so
hybrid
we did a
items.
soft rework to this item a little bit
Or
ago. So we
hybrid
wanted to just kind of give it a
items.
little bit more love because we know that this rework did seem to get a positive reaction. You guys liked the way that we kind of adjusted
The
this to
math
be a
on
little
this
bit
item on the
more
rework was
percent
dog
focused
shit.
rather
It made
than
no
flat
sense.
focused. So we want to make it just a bit better, give you a little bit more
It
incentive.
used
buy
to
ammo,
remove
so
30
health,
power,
5% more
and
power.
now it removes
Love to see
10%.
that. We'll be picking up this item quite a lot, I think.
Yep.
Awesome.
Up to
Well, there's one more
15% is
item
better,
left
but
in this
that's
balance before we're
still
on to
just
gods,
a
and it
little bit
looks like
better
we're
late
on to
game than the
gods. Are we getting
30%.
just
It's a better
little
late
bit
game
of a
item.
Health touch up?
Yeah, going from 100 to 200. I mean, the
That's
Kinsai
really
tree is
fucking
designed
good
to be
for that item.
high protection,
But guess
low
what?
HP.
We get to be
That's a good
tankier
trade-off
as
with some very
tanks.
Powerful passives, but 100 health just felt like
Can't
not
wait.
enough incentive to go for an item that has an incredible passive whenever
yeah.
you're team fighting. But you know, if you're in a solo lane situation and you're buying Onis, spending that much gold to only get 100 health doesn't make you feel particularly tanky. So hopefully Onis will start to feel a little bit better after this change.
Awesome. Well, again, that does it for the items for 9.3, but we still have a whole handful of God things to talk about, and I think we're going to get into it right now, starting with Hebo. It's a Hebo buff. Why is Hebo getting more buff?
Oh man, this one.
This one is spicy.
This one is so spicy.
Oh
guys.
my
So when Hebo
god.
uses Water spout. He's typically
Holy
in the self-root
fuck.
animation, so he does so.
What does he do?
That's
Can you hear
actually
the noise real quick?
broken.
We need that
He,
to know.
he spleeshes basically.
No, there was a different noise. That's fine. We'll get it later.
Yeah.
Anyway, so he will no longer be standing still.
That's
while he's
actually
attacking.
huge,
so
dude.
You can now move around, use your spleesh a little bit more, and keep on going on your Hopewell way.
Yeah, no more red lights for Hebo. It's all greens
He's
for him
zooming.
from here,
Yeah.
from here on out.
Could you say it was more liquid movement?
It's more fluid.
There you go.
It's more
You
fluid
both,
for
you
sure.
both.
Speaking of fluids, we have Poseidon also getting a
Very
buff.
nice.
Thank you. I worked on that. Trident and Release the Kraken both getting a little bit of a buff. So what's going on there?
Hey, they're
Yeah,
finally
Poseidon's
hitting
one of the gods that
mana
we're seeing be pretty
problems on
popular
Poseidon.
and do pretty well overall, but
Nice.
still
It took him
feels
fucking
like
8
we get
years.
a lot of feedback about his mana costs in particular. You know, this is a god that has seen a ton of mana adjustments over the years, particularly to Whirlpool and the 1. So now we're trying to match that up a little bit with the 2 and the 4, just making it so that you aren't as incentivized. You don't need to build these MP5 items quite as early, so you can actually play your laning phase without having to buy something like a Mana Chalice a lot of times.
Awesome. Well, I mean, I'm a fan of throwing Kraken, so fair enough. Lots of different Kraken skins to see, and sometimes just so little time to get to them. So the next buff I am super excited about.
Me too.
My boy, the Baron, getting a little bit of a buff. Looks like his ult is getting a little bit of a touch up. Let's get into it. I love Baron.
Yeah, so Life at the Party, if you guys remember,
That's
this
pretty good
is
change.
such an incredibly cool ability in terms of the visuals, in terms of the gameplay. So we
Love
want to
it.
just make it a little bit better feeling for the Baron who's actually using
Honestly,
it.
just
So
the
we're
self-slow
decreasing that
part is
self-slow
gonna be
that you get when
really
you're
fucking
activating the
nice.
ability. It's going from 60
Like
to
really,
40.
really,
That is
really
a
nice.
pretty huge decrease. So you'll definitely feel that if you give him a try, but also that tick damage that you're getting when you're pulling everyone in, that's going to be doing a little bit more. So it's going from 6% to 8% scaling. And that's a lot of ticks, so that's going to
Yep.
be doing
yeah.
a significant bit more damage if you're building power.
Yeah, especially if you're doing the real high-level strats of pulling them in, then turning away so you don't end your ultimate, and then turning back to them, pulling them in again, you know, trying to get that maximum duration out of the ultimate. I think this will add up pretty quickly. I'm excited to see. Damage Baron in mid, I think, is already really underrated. I think this god is pretty good in that type of role.
Yeah.
With these changes, I expect to see him be very good.
I
hope so.
totally agree. I mean, you're gonna for people who have played Baron for years too. I feel like you're gonna feel like a race car driver when you hop on that ult.
In comparison, yeah,
Oh
you
yeah,
will.
that's
Oh,
20%.
absolutely.
That's incredible.
You'll be
so
zooming.
excited to see that. Next up, Thor getting a bit of a buff. Looks like Anvil of Dawn is getting a little touch up as well. So what's going on there?
Yeah, many, many moons ago, we made some changes to this ultimate, and if you remember
That's
back
it?
then, if you were anywhere near the target that got dunked, you were getting a lot of damage from this chain lightning, and so there were a lot of iterations on bringing down that damage, and it got to a point with other changes to the kit and the way the map is played and things like that we feel like that chain lightning damage that should be a very exciting moment in a team fight for Thor isn't really finding that same type of oomph. So we're trying to bring a little bit of lightning damage back. Remember, this is only after you land with your ultimate. All of your attacks will spread out with that lightning damage, doing a little bit more
Really
range now,
micro
going to 30 to
change.
35, and making sure that you feel it a little bit more with the base damage as well.
I mean, you saw that new skin, the Haunted King Thor. Excited. Well, I guess I'm not excited because I usually would just get hit by him, but it'll still look cool, so at least that'll feel good.
That's right.
So next up, Cupid, also getting a bit of a buff. Cupid scares me, but I mean, good for Cupid players. What's going on
He's a
there,
little baby. Why would he scare you?
Because he's so hard to hit.
And his head is so big.
They're buffing his heart bomb. Okay, they want him to clear
Cupid's
better.
main clear heart bomb is getting just a little bit of a buff. He's getting 5% scaling on the ability, which counts for 10% in total.
They want his lane clear to be
hopefully this
better.
brings up the little guy's clear just a little bit, you know. He needs it.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Well, cool. Another hunter. It's hard to talk when you're making me laugh. Another hunter in the pipeline, Jing Wei. Love this character. Love all
just
the
buffed
escape.
her,
It's
right?
fun. Getting also a buff, it looks like. So
They just buffed her.
I mean, I'm happy for it. Why is Jing Wei getting a buff?
Yeah, I think Jing Wei, again, just with the way that the meta has shifted and what we're seeing in Hunter play in particular, it hasn't been super kind to her. And so
Fair.
we're trying to give her a little bit more offensive power. With
Yeah.
Jing Wei in particular, we're always very wary of her survivability and her escapes because that's typically when she's been very strong. But we want to up her offensive capabilities a little bit, just adding a little bit more explosiveness to those explosive bolts, just 10% more scaling on them.
A little more boom.
Yeah,
Cool.
exactly.
Nothing wrong with a little more boom. So next up, I would say his name, Jablonca. I'm cursed. I can't say that one right ever. Poison Dart's getting a little bit of a touch up as well. So
What are
let
they
me-
doing?
Why more poison?
So Jablonca is another hunter that kind of has had his time in the past where he's been insane, right? So before we've kind of tried to focus a little bit more on the bonus, but this time we want to give his poison darts a little something special. So we're going to be taking 2 seconds off the top of that cooldown. So in the early
Dang,
game,
now we
you
can
feel like
spam
you play a
poison
little bit more
darts.
freely with the darts in the lane.
I don't like that they're fucking with Jing Wei.
That's feeling
I
pretty
really don't want to meta
Yeah,
where Jing Wei's at the
especially
top
back
of
in the
it.
day,
It's
we
the
used to back poison
horrible.
darts
It would
first.
if
After
that's
a
the
lot of
meta in the
changes, I
hunter
think
lane
players
with
learning
a
where
tank
you
meta,
can
I will
value
literally
the vast
uninstall
majority of
Smite, and I've
high-class
never
top
uninstalled
players
Smite
are
before.
leveling their 1 over there too, and so it's leaving this very long cooldown until very late.
Oh,
in the game.
faster? No, you just go
Trying to
Transcendence
make
into
that
Berserker
feel a
Shield, bro.
little
You're good to
better
go.
for mid-game
You have
until
infinite
you
mana
get
and you
up
can't die.
Start putting points in your poison darts, I think will make them feel better.
True. It's funny. You can play this game forever, learn all this stuff about these different gods, but if you're me who started playing super early, you still have this urge to pause at the end of his ult every time. You're like, I better not
I
get
know.
stunned. To this day, it's been gone forever, but to this day. So next up, Ymir getting a buff. Frost Breath getting just a little frostier aggro. I guess, you know, it's summertime's coming along. He's been cooling his breath down a little more.
Yeah, something along those lines. Yes-anding your bit, I suppose. Look, I think that for Ymir in particular,
We're getting a buff to
16
Ymir
seconds
jungle?
base all the time on that frost breath
Let's
felt very,
go.
very long.
Even though they
This is a
nerfed 10
character who,
items.
speaking about point allocation and that kind of stuff, Ymir fights for your skill allocation more than like any other god. There are instances where maxing your wall is best and maxing your 2 is best. There weren't as many applications to max your freeze first. It did go up in duration, but because it didn't go down in cooldown, it felt like it was falling behind a little bit. I'm really excited to see what high-level players in particular
Yeah,
do.
if Ymir's meta and competitive, that'll be fun to
You'll
watch.
tune into an SPL
Ymir
support,
competitive
they'll be level 11,
metas are always
3
fun.
points in their wall, 4 points in their
support.
2 points in their freeze.
I've never
You know,
uninstalled
there's
Smite,
a lot
no,
of things
I
that you can
haven't.
do with this god, and I think that a change like this only serves to up a little bit of skill expression with him.
Yeah, it'll be super interesting to see I mean, like you said, what kind of changes come from something like this?
Yep.
So next up, Zing getting a buff as well. Sky cutting axe.
Zing?
Why is his axe getting more sky
What
cutting?
the fuck is Zing?
Leap. And so we wanted to give you a
Jing.
little bit more incentive to use this aggressively. So, little known fact, when you use Sky
you got a
Cutting
little
Axe to
tanky
go
boy.
on people, you get protections.
And like a lot of them.
Yeah, it's a lot of protections. We're making it even more now.
More of them.
So yes, we want you to use that leap in, get in there, use the whirlwind of Rage and Steel right after, and you'll be super buff when you're spinning around in a circle, grabbing as many people as you can.
This is a very professional show. We're all professionals here. So
Yeah, why do you need to say that?
I'm reinforcing myself.
Okay.
Next up, Cthulhu with Sanity Break, which has nothing to do with what's going on here with us. Why is Sanity Break getting stronger?
Yeah, Cthulhu is one of these gods that, you know, we've seen him be very
30
dominant in Soul Lane
base
in the
damage,
past.
10 early, 30 late.
That was when the meta was a little bit more stand and watch each other clear, and we're trying to up the aggression in that lane overall over these last few patches. And he's just fallen a little bit behind in that wave clear capability. You know, we didn't want to buff the Myers. You know, it's a big wave clear, very easy to hit the entire wave. You have to position fairly aggressively in order to use Sanity Break. And it's really more about his laning phase more than anything else. So I'm excited to see what this does
Yep.
with Cthulhu in solo.
Yeah, it'll be interesting.
You've
to
missed
see.
some of the
I
worst
love seeing Cthulhu. I love
shit
playing Cthulhu. He's
I've ever
always been
seen
a
in
good
my life.
pocket God, so
Yep.
any buff is a good buff for Cthulhu. So finally, Kushalane also getting a buff to Berserk and Salmon's Leap.
Yeah, so Kushalane used to be the pinnacle of the Bluestone meta, right? Last year we
True.
had a little bit of
yeah.
that between him and King Arthur, but now
Fearsome.
that Bluestone is kind of back a little bit. We do see a little bit more of it now with those Warriors Axe nerfs from the past few
We're
patches.
buffing another warrior.
Well, now we might start seeing him again because he's getting that little bit extra on the health shield that he gets when he transforms.
I'm dead.
And we're decreasing
dead.
that cooldown on his
fucking
third
dead.
ability between the leap or the dash in both stances. That's going down from 16 to 15.
Do we
So,
really think,
just
like,
a
do they
little
honestly think
flexibility
mages
between,
damage was the problem right now with the meta? Like, I don't understand.
All good
I don't
changes,
care about
and
mages. Nobody
one
cares
day I
about
love names,
mages.
but I have to also be smart enough to
What
know
is
what I had
this?
for breakfast, which is reaching for me sometimes. So there's one last god we're talking about, and this is a big one. This
Yeah.
is something kind of new. This is something we're-
Showtime, huh?
Yeah, something we're testing out. This is called the aggro talk section. So SERQET getting what we are calling a rebalance.
Yes.
Get into it.
So,
What?
one of the big things that I've been doing since joining the design team has been working on these rebalances, like we're calling them. And it's taking these gods that have been problematic for us, specifically at a high level, and trying to bring them a little bit more in line. So these numbers are going to seem very scary.
Hey, they
up
fixed
front. But
scaling.
trust me when I say I've got a spreadsheet that did the math, all that kind of stuff. The homework is there. The entire goal for SERQET is to take her out of these
They
support
fixed scale barely
roles
enough,
and
but they
tanky
fixed
junglers. We
scaling.
want her to be an assassin in the true sense of the word, building full
Took them long
damage,
enough.
building some crit
And
if you
saying
want,
that's all they had to do
and
for
trying to
fucking years.
assassinate your targets,
Problem is the
not
alt's
just
still
being
dog
tanky.
shit unless they hit the alt
So
too.
before, for Catalyst in particular, her passive, this is one of the bigger changes. It used to just be flat max HP. You would just take away a percentage of max HP if you had 2 poisons and a bigger percentage if you had 3 poisons. There was no scaling whatsoever.
Aggro
Now
didn't
we're
do
adding
this.
physical
Well, maybe he
power
did,
scaling,
but
and a lot of it.
I've-
in
they've
order
been
to
talking
make
about
sure
this
that
for
it
months.
feels good to still be using
Ajax
this
have been talking about this for
full power
months.
builds. The goal for all of these changes is that
This
SERQET's
all
build no power
needs to be what I
or
said.
1 to 1.5
So far, this is
power
exactly
items
what
like
I
these
said.
hybrid builds
For
feel
like for the last 2 years, what I said they had to do
significantly worse.
SERQET.
That is the design goal for those types of builds to feel worse.
So the
But
passive is
full
just straight up
game
getting
assassin
buffed.
crit builds to feel the same or better than they were before. That's what all these changes are for. So Catalyst is a big one. You're going to be able to really chunk down people.
Assuming you're
who
building
have a lot
damage.
of power with this Catalyst passive. Deathbane losing a very slight bit of base damage, particularly on
That
the
passive
back
is
end of
gonna
it. We don't wanna
fucking
mess with the
insta-kill
jungle
mages
clear
with a high
early
power build
because we view that as one
without
of our
crit.
strengths. So we're making sure that that's really
The alt needs
base
more
damage,
scaling. Need to
getting
be able to do
a
way
little
more
bit
damage.
scaling because in order to compensate for
The
that.
kiss, increase
And the
base
same can be said for Cobra's
damage
Kiss
by
and Ambush.
50,
Both those
increase
abilities
scaling
are
by
losing base
20%.
damage,
Okay.
Gaining scaling. And ideally, if you're building damage, you will either feel the same that you did
That's a
before
lot.
or better. But it is intended that tank SERQET will feel worse after these changes. And
Yeah,
a really
tank
big one
SERQET
as well
is going to
for
feel a
Ambush
lot
is
worse,
we're
but jungle
decreasing that
SERQET isn't going to feel a lot
from
better.
65 to 50.
What the
65
fuck?
was one of the longest leaps in the game.
Yeah,
already
because you had
have
to
the 50
stealth
unit
first. It has a
dash.
pause.
Very, very hard to kill this character. I think everyone.
That's
who's
the
played
point,
this
high
knows
mobility.
that. We want to make sure that she is feeling.
I don't care about base damage on the 3 getting nerfed. That doesn't matter. You never use the 3 for damage.
Her spots really correctly, and I think that using that ambush stealth is going to be important with this type of change.
SERQET is
And then
going to be
finally,
all about the
last
passive.
breath in talking to high-level players in particular, a big deal with Last Breath was that they felt like they couldn't use it in late-game scenarios because
they increased the scaling on ambush too. Base damage down 100.
You know exactly where she's going to be.
New damage
so
per tick across 6 ticks.
Whenever she is only when she is CC immune on top of a target, it will not last any longer than that.
What's the scaling?
And also doing the exact same type of shift that we did with every single one of her other abilities. Reducing base damage, increasing scaling. Incentivizing you to build it as an assassin.
SERQET's fucking broken again!
This is the first of a couple of gods we're going to be trying to do things like this with. I'm very interested to hear your feedback. This has been a big
Finally!
task for me, so I'm excited for you guys.
Let's go!
I really want to see those.
Oh my gosh! It took fucking 8 years.
Assassin style, using that mobility as an aggressive tool instead of a more defensive tool, and we're going to be.
Bro, SERQET's ult and passive are going to one-shot mages.
This is a really big one.
And hunters and other junglers. You're just gonna poof. You're gone.
The feedback that we've been talking about recently.
Of course, yeah.
You know, base damage.
I'm back to playing SERQET every game.
The tanky character is doing a little bit too much. This is version 1 of trying to pull that back in a little bit. So very excited to hear the feedback on this.
Awesome. Well, and yeah, lots of huge changes there.
Bro, her scaling is nuts.
That's gonna wrap it up for the gods, actually. So thank y'all.
That ult is so fucking good now.
Here in aggro as well. Now we're gonna shift into some skins, and we're super
still
excited
spreads, right?
about that. But before we get there, again, those are a lot of changes. You can see all of that stuff on the patch notes, which are live now. The update notes are live. And we want y'all's feedback. You know, the rebalances, like we're starting with SERQET, are a mode of something we want to do to help these characters that we think need help get the help they need.
I'm going to play PTS for
Everybody loves
SERQET.
them, and they're a little easier to deal with in games. And it's y'all's feedback that
And Hebo, to be honest.
these characters feel as good as we want them to feel, and hopefully y'all want them to feel. So as we start working on these things for different characters, please do let us know if you love it.
Oh yeah, where's this Ul skin everyone's talking about? Is this the Rexy Ul skin?
All of that feedback, eat it up, and hopefully produce something that everybody's happy with. So past that, let's get into skins, starting with a new birthday event coming in 9-3 that we're super excited for. And let's welcome Hi-Res Honey on. So welcome.
Hello.
Glad to have you here. Good day so far, I hope?
Good day.
Good day.
Seeing you guys. So.
Exactly. Love being
Absolutely.
here in person, right?
I know.
Yes.
It's crazy how little I see these people's faces outside of a screen. It's like, this is like a fever dream for me. So Mifflin said he recognized me earlier. I almost cried.
I would too.
So the first thing we're going to talk about is a birthday event that we're super excited for. It's Smite birthday. We celebrate it every year. We're happy about it. And this year we have another amazing birthday event that's free to everyone. There are 15 items you can earn, 15 days worth of event. Each day you get in, participate in the event, and earn a free item. It's that easy, but the items are only going to be available the day that they are listed in the 15-day event. So if you want the item for day number 13, make sure you're logging on day number 13, but really you should be on for every day because there's a lot of amazing stuff. You can earn boosters, there's a day where you can earn gems, and you know you want to be playing on that day, but also some really awesome cosmetics from the community. For those of you who keep up with our Twitter, we posted about a fan art submission program for the birthday event, and we have decided the winners, and they get some cosmetics in game. So you're going to have 2 jump stamps, 2 avatars, and 2 global emotes. The jump stamps are by Ultraviolet Rhea and Loxinen. They made the jump stamps you're going to see. There's 2 avatars, one from Himali279 and one from Boopity-Boop. I love that name. I love saying that name.
Yep.
And then 2 global emotes, one from Chest South C and Funky Dealer, which is also a great name. So those are all super exciting. And again, all you have to do is participate in the event during the 15 days. So, I mean, hey, 15 days worth of working hard and then spending the evening, I just tried to breathe, spending the evening playing with your friends online to earn free stuff, all kinds of stuff you can get. Plus, if you play 6 or more days in a row, if you do 6 or more days from the event within that 15-day time period, you're going to get the Husky Handler Scotty skin. So let's take a look at that.
It's very cool.
Oh yeah, super cool.
This card art, tier 1 for sure.
There it is.
Love it.
Look at
Super
that.
cool.
Okay.
Look at that
Okay.
popo.
That's a good Husky right there.
That is a good. Also got the golden black. That just like.
Where's the thick spam, dude? It's
Always a
coming.
fan.
I'm sure Smite Games chat is
Oh,
just
that-
thick, thick,
yeah,
thick,
that's
thick,
a great
thick.
looking skin.
I like the colors, yeah. They didn't overdo with like too dark of a black.
Every Husky owner everywhere is going to be losing.
It's a good
their
simple
mind.
skin.
I know. Like,
Very Viking
Husky's
style.
is one of those dog breeds that if someone has a dog, they're not going to be like, yeah, I have a dog. They're like, yeah, I have a Husky.
Yeah.
You know, they really always want to talk about them, and for good reason, because they're phenomenal dogs. And now they have an opportunity to have a Husky handler in game, as well as being Husky handlers in real life.
True. that's what we're going to see tweets now. They're like, yeah, I'm a Husky handler player.
That's
so,
right.
Super excited. I think it's going to be great. And again, this is a free skin that you can earn by participating in at least 6 days of that birthday event out of the 15, but really hit all of them. So next up, we have the Crimson Beast chest coming in 9.3, and this has Crimson Beast Fenrir.
It's really cool.
Oh my gosh.
What the fuck?
Cool and horrifying.
Yeah, it's really good.
The white and red are just so complementary.
Please be good in game.
Yep, they're really good. And I'll tell you, I'm not saying anything about it in particular.
That is
I'm
fucking
merely stating
sick.
a fact here.
Okay.
And that's that I play tested this skin yesterday as part of our testing process. And I did get a pentakill in arena.
First-hand experience.
Gotcha.
I'm not saying it was because of the skin. That's not what I'm claiming.
Got it. But
I'm telling you what happened.
yeah.
And you're allowed to pull your own conclusions from that.
Yeah, we're not telling y'all what to think. We're just relaying the facts here. Also, he has a lot of muscles and is scary. Let's hear the voice line.
It's over. Flee if you must, but the beast is already on your trail.
Yeah, so that's just scary and I hate it. Well, like, hate it in a compassionate kind of way, though, you know?
Yeah.
So this also reminds me, this is really cool. Play this with the, what is it, Morgan Le Fay and I think King Arthur skins?
Yes.
Yep.
So we're building up to we have a mighty trio of horror right now, so that's exciting. So next up, and I'm super excited to talk about this, we have the new Chibi Mecca Battle Pass, which I am so excited, starting with Intruder by Cupid.
This is old, right?
This is already like Cupid and his skins are always so fun.
Wait, is it a new skin?
And I love this theming for it.
Oh yeah, he has it's a reskin, right? His head is white.
Art art's fantastic as always. Cupid skins, like just their sound effects are always very funny.
Oh yeah.
To me.
Oh, it's blue. You're right. Yeah,
I
it's
really
blue.
like
Blue.
the sound
Yeah.
effects.
I mean,
Green's
that's
more
always been
fitting.
something with Cupid too, is small character, huge personality for every one of the skins. And
Oh, yeah.
Just look at the hologram head kills me.
It's so good.
Love his jetpack.
Yep. The
Totally
jetpack's great. His little gun.
His little zapper. His tiny
Yeah,
little legs,
I thought the old one had a
it's
helmet.
one of those where he's intimidating when he's running at you with his ult.
So not a
You're like, oh, but he's so
recolor?
tiny.
Or is there
Sure, I
another
don't
skin
have
with a
to
helmet
touch
as well? Is there a
little
space
tiny
one and an alien
Says
one?
Atlas getting destroyed.
Yeah, and then he crits you.
Yeah. Let's hear the voice line.
Yeah, so this isn't even a true reskin. It's a pretty good skin. Same
You don't
voice
have
pack.
death rays? Well, charge your boots and swords then.
Wait, boots? What are those? So next up, another super cool skin with the same battle pass, Beaky Bot Thoth. So let's see what Thoth is looking like. Oh my gosh.
Oh my god.
fun.
this is my
No
first time seeing
shot.
this. It's so good.
I love it. His TV face.
Wait, this is about to be a really good
This
skin, isn't it?
has so much personality.
It
Like,
really does.
because the personality on the front of his face changes as you're playing.
Yeah.
You've got a lot of different
What the
like that.
fuck?
Look at that, so
the little
great.
error message.
We got ourselves a 1995 monitor
404, that's
for a head.
amazing.
It's so good.
I love it. Yeah, and
Oh,
like the
alright.
Chibi
I like
Mecca
that a
is
lot.
such a cool.
That's
It
cool.
says Thoth on his head. Such a cool combination that I don't know. Like when they first started talking about this, I was like, why haven't we done more of this? This is incredible.
I know. It's just perfect. His little book, his little like metal book that
Yeah.
he's got there for him to cast his spells out of just looks so good. It's like the futuristic plus like retro computer look at the same time. It's just awesome.
Yeah, a robot with a CRT head. You just
Yep.
There's no beating that. All right, let's hear the voice line.
Oh boy, my first time on the front lines. I wonder if I'll be any good at this whole fighting thing.
The voice fits, but I'm tired of the echo, man.
That's super
Just-
awesome. And
Can we
something
stop
worth
doing
noting,
echo
too,
voice
is,
packs for like
I've
a
been
year?
told that they worked a lot of retro tech sounds into this. Some of those being
I couldn't hear any of them.
modem and dial-up tactile tech sounds to really help the feel of this skin, really give it that
How many of our
characteristic.
players do you think actually remember what that sounds like?
I mean, I know when I was in like elementary, middle school ages, you go on YouTube and see like the dial-up rap. So that's about the closest that I feel like some of our.
Oh,
some
so
of our
you don't remember that noise? Is that what you're telling me?
only vaguely.
Am I aging myself by saying I do remember that
Thank
noise?
you. No, honey, that's what I was looking for. Someone to be with me on this journey.
I'm with you.
Every echo voice pack, do 5
And,
shots.
I guess I've aged myself as well. Next up, Freezy Bot Ymir.
It's awesome.
Oh, that's so good.
He looks so menacing, but so cute at the same time.
I just like the shape of the helmet and that rough iron look too. I like a robot that looks a little rough, a little battle worn, and oh my
Oh.
gosh,
Wait,
he looks like
wait.
him.
He looks like a toy. It's so good. It does definitely have that like little.
It looks like
toy feel that's
Transformer
come to
shit.
life, and it's now like way bigger than you thought it would be. It's like a scary version of like Toy Story.
Yeah, it's like a cartoon
it's like-
toy version of
Oh, no,
Optimus
it's like
Prime.
what is it? Little Robot. There was a movie where toys came to life and were fighting that was more scary, and that's what this is.
There it is.
I would have bought this too if I saw this on the shelf. I'd have been like, Mom.
100%.
All right, let's hear the voice line.
Enemy heat signatures detected within orbit. Commencing combat preparations.
Are we ever gonna not have echoes,
He does
bro?
mean business. And yeah, I was told about this. This one, you know, as they were designing it, they really kind of stuck to their guns on the sci-fi thing. But obviously, as they went through that, they were also really looking for how can we make this adorable. So like walking the line between sci-fi robot and cute thing. It's crazy how they can pull stuff like this out of thin air. It's incredible.
They nailed it.
So the last skin in the Chibi Mecca Battle Pass, and one that I'm super excited to see, is Doombot Hades.
Yeah, this skin is unbelievable.
Love
Look
it.
at that.
I love this card art. Look at how evil he looks,
I mean, so true.
and simultaneously tiny.
Right? It's one of those you're like, aw, look at him. And then he like conquers your planet and you're still like, aw,
Yeah.
our overlord.
Oh, King of the Underworld, so cute.
That's a really fucking good
Well, that's
skin for
cool. It
Hades,
kinda
bro.
Doesn't really have feet as much as he has kind of like that battle skirt.
It reminds me of Thanatos, but I don't care. That's a cool skin for
He
Hades.
doesn't need feet for what he's here to do.
No, he definitely doesn't need feet. I mean, I just
Ready for
like,
the
I
Echo
love
voice back?
How his portion seems so thin and how
What's the
tiny he
over-under
is,
on
but
the Echo
red
voice
and
back?
Black is just horrifying.
It's really cool. Yeah, I love this theming for Hades. You know, it feels powerful, but you know, alongside that theme, you know, it's a really good contrast to the blue and white of Ymir to like this red and black for this Hades skin. I think that they work really well alongside each other too.
Very solid theming. I couldn't agree more.
Mix
Let's
skins
hear
and
the
voice packs like from others. That'd be cool, but a little overkill.
Scans indicate this world is rich with resources. Prepare all available units for interplanetary invasion.
A horrible little war leader.
Bro,
You know,
what is the
I don't think
obsession
he's
with
doing
it? I
proper
don't
justice
get
by
it.
giving a little
I just
peek
want
in game. So
clean,
let's hop in
clear
and see what we
voice
got
packs,
here.
dude.
Yeah,
I
this,
don't fucking
these
understand
animations
it.
Are really, really good.
5 months. Also,
Look at him
I'm
boogie.
about to
This is a great
spam
opening
customers.
for sure.
That is
What up,
such a
Shax?
great
I'm a
opening.
spam customs, dude.
Really selling the whole villain thing.
Yep.
The auto attacks are fucking glorious.
Yeah, the sound effects too. Ooh.
Oh yeah, this is a cool skin. Voice pack dog shit.
Yeah.
Oh, that looks so good.
Oh, that looks awesome. Yeah, sound effects are just great.
Yeah.
You could, you know, it has this like 90s cartoon villain sort of vibe to it, with the sound effects and with like the voice lines and that kind of stuff that,
Oh,
that
yeah.
are really, really awesome.
And incredible of you to have said that because that is exactly what they were aiming for. So I mean, the whole 90s
They are
villain
good.
thing. Our team just it's
keep doing it.
banger after banger every time. You can't miss. So absolutely love it. And again, this is going to be a reward for playing through that battle pass, the Chibi Mecca battle pass. So make sure to pick that up with 9.3 because I mean, if you
Buy
wanna
the
be
battle
available and
pass,
for everything at the
boys. You
same
get
time,
3
I don't think
chibi
there's
skins.
a
They're
better
actually
way to
really
do it.
good.
So
No doubt.
super exciting, super love it. So the next thing we want to show off is something that we have been very excited to be able to share with y'all. It is our new Prime Gaming skin coming out a little bit later. So Safebreaker Collie is still the next one coming up. But after that, you're going to get this. Check it out.
The fuck is this? No fucking way, bro. What the fuck? What the fuck?
That's right.
Where did that
Rainbow
even
is
come
making
from?
An appearance in Smite. Super excited.
Bro, why?
He is coming to Smite from the hit 2008 film Rambo. Our bow-savvy soldier is joining the battleground alongside the gods. Rambo Uller is going to be available through Prime Gaming.
Wait,
starting April 7th,
2008?
so make sure to keep
Hold
your eye
on,
out for that
what?
and, you know, claim him when he comes out. And just check out this card art. It looks fantastic.
So
looks
cool.
great.
Imagine being able to get a skin.
No,
as
they don't watch the
awesome and, like, what
2008
crazy
Rambo?
crossovers like Rambo Uller for free
I know.
with your Prime Gaming.
With Prime Gaming.
That's crazy.
I
Let's talk about
absolutely-
value.
Look at those muscles, too.
What the fuck? am I looking
it's just
at?
so cool, man. I mean, if you're a Rambo fan, you've just got to be loving it.
Yeah.
Who the fuck is an actual Rambo fan? Like actively.
Absolutely incredible. If you're a fan of Rambo and a fan of the movie, as a lot of us are and a lot of people internally are, you're just gonna absolutely love this and the attention to detail on this skin. So let's hear the voice line.
I don't believe you guys. I've never had
or die for something. Your call.
a good voice pack at least.
Call. I absolutely love that. That is incredible. And again, like with before, this is one of those skins where I don't think we'd be doing proper justice without giving it a look-see in game. So let's hop in and see what Rambo's looking like in game.
Man, it's just so clean.
It is so clean.
It is a really clean skin.
So good.
It is a really fucking clean skin.
Symbol there whenever
it's so simple but clean. I like it.
And it's just
not really that hype of a partnership, which is probably why it's free. I'd assume, but it's pretty cool.
Yeah,
April
7th. Yeah. So April 6th is gonna be a Rambo watch party.
Oh yeah, that's exactly what I did too. I popped into the Rambo 2008, and I sat there and relived it and enjoyed every moment of it. Just to be excited for this. It's been something that it's been hard to bite my tongue on because we've wanted to share this forever and we absolutely love it. I mean, just the swiftness with the bow, how awesome this skin is. It's a great crossover that we were super excited to be able to do and super excited to share with y'all through Prime Gaming, which I'm going to say it again. We're going to nail it out on the 7th, April 7th. So something to look forward to for sure. It's a ways out, but we couldn't not share it right now, you know? Like the quicker we can share something with y'all, the better. Yeah. So. Again, look forward to Rambo Ulir coming in with Prime Gaming.
Is there another Rambo movie coming out?
Next up, the next thing we want to talk about is the Heavenly Light Chest.
That would make even more sense.
Primordial, Punisher, Anubis, and wow.
What the fuck
this is my favorite card art in the patch, I think.
It's incredible.
It's just epic. I mean, imagine being one of these people like waiting for Primordial, Punisher, Anubis. Are they into the punishment? I don't understand that part, but I don't understand why.
I feel like the skin should have been super white, like just white as fuck.
He looks like an absolute beast.
He has that aura of equal parts,
like brighter.
I'm in total awe and also like afraid. Like with Punisher in the name, you can't be. But yeah, just the white and like the blue, purple, and pinkish. It's just incredible. I love it.
Yeah, it just looks. I don't know, man. It's like when I look at Anubis and think about the cool skins we could make. This type of idea would literally never cross my mind, and that's why I'm not on that team, because they come up with these ideas that are so crazy and so out there and just execute so well and are so cool.
I mean, constantly, skin after skin. Let's hear the voice line.
I am the universe, given form and purpose. With my boundless energy, I will experience all this reality has to offer.
And experience it you shall.
That's right.
With 9.3, the update coming out.
They need to do a Pokemon partnership and just do Mewtwo fucking Anubis.
An event we have coming up, that's the Heavenly Light Chest. And that's part of the Heavenly Light event, which is coming with update 9.3. So this event is huge. This is one of our big, massive events that we release a couple times a year. It's going to span over 4 total updates. So again, very long-lasting event. Tons and tons of content, cosmetics, quests you can participate in. Again, it's lasting for 4 whole patches. So that's constant releases every patch are going to continue to make this event grow. And it's an exciting event to get into. Each event is also going to have its own, or each update as it continues throughout this event is going to have its own chest that comes with each chapter. Those chests are going to have a number of cosmetics or skins and a cosmetic bundle per chest that you can earn. And if you get all of the cosmetics from those chests, you will unlock the unlimited skin that coincides with the chapter of that event. So as this event continues to release chapters, you're going to want to make sure you're getting in there and looking into what cosmetics you really love and deciding, do I want this unlimited, which you probably will because they're all amazing, and enjoying the event along with the quests that come along with these things, because we always like to give people quests and tasks to do to, you know, enjoy the game, and it adds kind of like the mini game to the game. It's just game on game section.
Does the VGS work the same way Camazot's and them work and Raijin? They just make sounds.
And we'll also, of course, like our other events, have the buy all option available right from the beginning. So if you, I mean, based off what you see today, it wouldn't surprise me if you see this and you're like, all right, I don't want to wait. I want this right now, because there's a brand new T5 coming that we're going to show you later. I'm not going to spoil it yet. It is insane. It features some stuff that we've never done before. which is what we always do. T5s always raise the bar every time, and I mean, we're going to see it again here soon. And you can earn that day one with the buy all option, as well as the rest of the content for the entire event. And that's 4 patches worth of content. It's not like it's not like you buy it and you see everything day one. You're going to be buying content that you're going to be earning for months. So if you want to do that, that will be available day one with the buy all option, which will also include the T5 skin, which I'm so antsy to show y'all. We're going to get there soon though, just a little bit of patience. So first off, we're going to show off one of the amazing skins that's going to be in this, Flare Tech Hu Yi.
Yeah, this is awesome, man. I mean, this is another one of the card arts that stuck out to me from this event. Hu Yi already has a tier 5 of his own, has a lot of really great skins out there, but
yeah.
I mean, just the brightness of
more
the
echo
skin makes it really hard to want to play anything else.
Yeah, the orange highlights are incredible. And, you know, like, this isn't part of the Chibi Mecca Battle Pass, but it has that Mecca vibe, right?
Oh, yeah?
Like, I could see a world where we're having Chibi Mecca versus regular
Have you seen the dudes, the videos where the dudes on TikTok try to walk around in cups?
Such an exciting...
Like high heels? That's what his feet look like.
I guess.
I feel like it would be hard to walk like that. I mean, this guy's got to be coordinated in order to walk on those, like, points instead of having the typical feet.
Well, and he's shooting a bow and arrow.
What up, Mecca Jesus?
I can barely stand still to shoot a bow and arrow.
Right.
So, very talented. Let's hear the voice line.
Man was constructed and brought into his world to bring light and hope.
And a hero. Was he built a hero, or did he become a hero?
Sounds like he was built a hero to me.
True. Well, I guess you'll have to play him like a hero in game.
That's right.
Put the team on your back. So next up, we have Master of Light Merlin, also part of the Heavenly Light event.
So
Look
cool,
at that.
man.
That is
so cool. This card art's nuts too.
It is. You got like the black hole in between his hands and that golden mask.
Yeah.
Or face maybe.
Yeah, the golden dragon as well. Like, he does it all. You know, Merlin's a master of the elements, as he always reminds me, and he certainly had a master there.
Yeah, just speaking of gods that just constantly, skins come out, and every skin that comes out, look at the colors on the cape. Sorry, I just distracted myself. But like, banger after banger for these skins every time. It's just nutty. It's hard to choose which Merlin skin to play every time you lock Merlin.
Yep, 100%. Man, the colors are so cool. Like the differences.
Pretty simple. I like this. I mean, it's just really amazing.
Right up on top of the cape and gets nice and dark as you progress down. I can't wait for you guys to see the abilities on this skin. The abilities really take it to the next level.
Oh, no doubt. Let's hear what the voice line sounds like.
This land is shrouded in a horrible darkness. I will restore the light and bring justice to the people.
Well, if we were going to have somebody restore the light, the Master of Light would be the one I'd go to. So
that makes sense.
Shout out to you, Merlin. So next up, and I'm really excited about this one. I'm excited about all these. Electro Dancer Shiva. We're getting our first Shiva skin with the Heavenly Light event, and look at how awesome that is.
It's so cool.
That is super cool. So, I mean, as y'all know,
what music we getting?
That we put a lot of effort and a lot of love into, and a big part of Shiva's lore is the dance aspect. You know, there's a lot of that going around. So we wanted to add a modern interpretation to that, I think, and it's just, I mean, look at how cool that is.
I love the rocker, like the horns up there for the hand in front. That looks really good.
That it is super duper cool. I mean, again, it's just the purples and the blues, those animated effects behind him. Just the joggers are like, I love the skin. The shoes have drip. I want those shoes. Let's hear the voice line.
I'll be making the ground quake with my moves soon. You'll see.
We will see. Super excited to see. And yeah, again, first skin, super excited to see it here. I just realized the staff is like spinning. That's incredible. Like inside
that's cool.
The hair looks like it's fucking
super excited
stiff.
To see that part of the Heavenly Light event. Next up, this is one that I am just.
The shoes do not have drip. The shoes make me want to throw up. They look like Shaquille O'Neal shoes.
Baron.
Shaq brand.
Look at that.
Baron's
no fucking shot they're doing this to Baron. No fucking shot they're doing this to Baron.
So animated.
So animated, yes.
This is the perfect skin for this.
I think it's perfect.
Oh my fucking gosh.
It's
perfect skin for this shit, dude.
It looks so good. Like the shading.
Perfect God for this skin. This is
the
beautiful.
Soft edges, every part of it. And again,
this is beautiful. Look at the little snake bopping.
Animations, and it would have looked amazing as
The angry
is,
snake
how,
is
like you said,
bopping, dude.
animated Baron is. But obviously, that's not what happened. A ton of work went into making this feel very alive, very cartoony. They pulled out all the stops.
That's
a
like a 20 out of 10 skin. This is the shit is why High Res has the best skins out of all video games. Or their Smite has the best skins out of all video games.
To be had today.
Love it.
So cool.
So expressive. Of course, I'm a huge Baron fan. I think this is incredible. Let's take it in game. Let's see what this looks like in game.
Oh, we get to see it in game?
Yeah.
Nice. I was hoping
Look
so.
at him.
It's so good, man.
It is so good. Even in like that kind of like that soft orange light of the
a
battle.
little dark,
really makes
but I like
those,
it.
Soft edges pop.
Yeah.
Oh, it's the map. It's the dark side of the map. Fuck, they need to lighten up the Smite map.
Is incredible. The colors.
Oh, oh my ass.
That's so cool.
So the ult, please tell me it's beefy.
I love the like really deep like grape purple.
The sounds and the one is God's here. Like it's literally
And his
perfect.
little sculpt. That's so. I love how bent his legs are when you do that.
I like the colors and the sounds for the ult, but it's a little, the visual isn't super insane.
I love it. That is
The
so
ones get the
exciting.
best visual.
I was told that one thing that they really worked on with this is they really worked on the out of combat noises that this character makes, actually, and the audio effects for out of combat to help this character really have, I mean, character. I keep saying the word there, but to really help define his personality as this cartoon character. So. I mean, I just.
I'm sure you can hear the tapping and the
Baron.
finger
I am going
snaps.
to be playing
You
this
have to
skin
be.
basically all the time now.
Yo, he just hit you with a stanky leg, dude.
Oh man! All right. Well, I could probably stare at this for another 45 years, but we can't not get to this next skin. This next skin is incredible. There's so much to say about it. It is our brand new T5 skin. We are about to see Queen of Cards Izanami.
All right, let's see it. This has so much potential. Let's see it.
It's just unreal what
It's
our team
4.
continues to come up with. These are
Look at
4
that. Look. Oh
different
God,
skins,
dude.
one for each suit that you're going to be changing through as you play the game. They all have so much unique.
If she's
character,
autoing
but they
cards, if she's
kinda tie
throwing
together
cards, bro.
really well.
Oh my
I mean, the colors
God.
are so vibrant. This skin, and it's just like the idea.
Holy
we all know that like
fuck.
throwing playing cards is like.
This is gonna be
you know what I mean? Like
beast.
that's a cool guy thing to be doing.
They can't
That's a cool
fuck
girl
up
thing to be doing.
throwing the cards as autos,
Izanami
dude. This is gonna be so
throwing
good.
cards as her autos and that kind of stuff. Just a genius base idea. 100%.
This is Izanami.
Yeah, and then to take that idea and escalate it from just something that's already
Weird
just
though, they
out of your
nerfed
brain sounds
Izanami in
so
this
cool.
patch,
And then
right?
you're like, well, what if instead
There's
of trying to
never
make
nerfs
one
and gives tier 5s. That's
all of the
crazy.
Personality of a deck of cards, which almost sounds silly to say, but and span that across 4
Look
different
at the fucking
individual skins
stomach on that other
that
one,
are
like
all
the
part of
twirling.
the same character. That all of them
What
obviously have
the
a similar theme, that
fuck?
card look, but are all incredibly individual.
Yeah.
It just it blows my mind, you know, like you said earlier, like, you know, I could have had the idea of Izanami throwing cards, maybe.
That's
and that's
dope.
cool. But that's not where our team stops. They have that idea and they iterate, and they're like, what could be better than just throwing cards? And that process, that iterative process, continues to grow until you end up with something as spectacular as this, with all 4 of its different models essentially for one character.
Yep. Yeah, you saw clubs earlier.
Yeah.
Now you see diamonds. There's another one for spades right here.
Yeah, yeah, spades is, I mean, and again, like we said, it's crazy how each of these has its own personality because, you know, diamonds.
I want to
is very
see this
flashy,
autoing
diamond
and
legs,
working.
very, very stylistic. Spades is horrifying.
Yep.
Spades has a sword skirt, kind of.
It's a skirt of swords.
A skirt,
Flaming
agreed.
skirt of swords.
Yes.
A flaming
That is
skirt.
important. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's pretty key, I think, for how it goes.
Also, Skullface? Scary Skullface?
Yep. 100. Yeah, I mean, they're just so like bright. They're all so different. And the
Yeah.
effects that you guys see once you see the ultimate, like you're gonna lose it.
Oh, yeah.
The ultimate is so cool.
And one of the cool things too is, you know, some of these skins, like when you to change forms will require an ultimate or, you know, a situation that can be a little harder to obtain. But with this, you will be changing form every time you use Izanami's dash. So when you use that dash, you will be changing to a different form, one of the different.
On the dash?
suits, I
That's
guess you
pretty
could say.
unique.
And
God damn,
so
where
we
did
wanted
those
you to
come
be able to
from?
Iterate through these forms a little quicker,
What
so you
the
really
fuck?
did get to spend time with every single one of them. So let's go ahead and hear the voice line real quick.
What hand will you play?
What hand will we play? Well, I'm going to play my hand right now by saying there's literally no way that I wouldn't like go in game to see this. Let's go in game to see this.
Got to.
Have to.
It's just like
you
get a new effect with each
Why are the numbers so
new
fucking
suit
big?
and that kind of stuff.
Why are the
They're all
numbers so
very different,
big?
But fit the theming so well.
The numbers are huge.
And then the ultimate is just
that's sick.
amazing.
Yeah.
And that's where the fifth suit, quote unquote, of the Joker shows up. That's who pops out of the ultimate every time. So
yeah,
it's just unreal.
The nefarious Joker. Whenever you use that ultimate, that's what you're seeing pop up in the air, all stylized with that pose and everything. Is the Joker, the fifth suit. So, and of course, you see there, it makes the symbol of, I believe, whatever form you're in. So when you use the ult there, you saw the spade appear.
This is my one problem with their tier 5s.
You should see the different.
Most of them have really shit animations, and Izanami has nothing to put animations on.
There's so many things
so like
say about
everything is about the auto attacks.
You know, and you can see it there, the diamond appearing behind the Joker. Just
it's
one
cool.
Of
the details are really good.
That makes the skin as incredible as it is. And again, the 4 different.
But the visuals can only do so much because it's Izanami.
Color scheme, each with
I like the autos, and I like the skins a lot.
I mean, there's just
animations
amazing to look at. The colors
are what they are. Colors are cool.
But that's not even the coolest part. All right, I've been holding out. I wanted to see all of this stuff in action before I got into it. One of the coolest things is that this skin has a brand new tech that we have never done before, and we're super excited to talk about, and that is an account-based quest that comes with this skin. When you have this skin, as you play through the game and get kills, you're going to see a little mini game happen. It's by chance. It's a little luck-based, but on kills and assists, you're gonna roll the dice and play this game every time. And it's part of a quest that is going to, and see, there you go, you draw a bunch of cards, and it's very random, totally luck-based, but as you continue and play through this skin, through many games, over any amount of time, the quest is going to continue to progress. And if you get 4 of a kind, you earn progress towards this quest. And the quest is going to change parts of the skin. And again, this happens.
What? It upgrades parts of the skin?
I gotta get 12
what?
kills in one game or else. This is, if you play a game and get 2 kills, you've played the minigame 2 times. Or 2 assists or whatever. If you
what? That's actually really fucking cool.
They all add up over weeks and months, and however long you play on this skin with your account, you're working towards this minigame. And as you accomplish things, like as you get these 4 of a kinds and start to progress through this quest system, you're going to have I believe it's a VXG, an animation that you can, that has things change about it, and it's added to as you continue to get these different kills and assists, and that'll just continue on as you play this skin. So, I mean, it's a totally new tech that we're just trying out with this.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. It's like progression in your skin. So
that's pretty cool.
Like Harrison said,
I like the idea. They're gonna expand on this, I think, and it's gonna be really big.
And if you draw 4
skins.
of a kind, or you draw 4 of the same suit, then that suit's VXG will then change and become a little bit different. And we'll also do some other things to that form of the skin. So, I mean, it's just crazy what you can do. You know, it's gonna take a lot of kills and assists. You're going to be spamming a lot of Izanami games in order to make sure that you have all 4 of your suits upgraded. But it's just such a cool idea, such a cool mechanic. You know, we're super excited to explore this in the future as well. But what an unbelievable way to kick it off, right? And do something like this for a tier 5 to get you to try and improve your skin and show it off, you know, to your friends. How cool would it be to play with a friend that you didn't play with since last week and show them that you got the Hearts VXG completed in your arena game last night? You know, I think it's gonna be really, really awesome.
Yeah, and I mean, like we said, this is just it's a new technology that we've never done before. We're so excited to see it in game, and it's just it's a game within the game. You know, we love giving people something to work towards, something that's fun to do. And we're excited to see this. So, and just how amazing this skin is. And again, you can get this with buy all right off the rip. If you're in love with this skin, if you want to start working on that mini game right away, then yeah, if you buy all for the new event, then you'll be able to get it right away, instantly. And I mean, I think it's well worth it because like, not only is this beautiful, not only did the team spend a ton of time working cross-team with each other very collaboratively to make sure that every different suit had a very individual personality in their movements and abilities, but you also get that that little mini game with this skin that allows you to work towards progress across every game you play until you're like not playing Izanami anymore, which will probably be never because of how amazing this is.
Yeah.
So that is our brand new T5 with a Heavenly Light event. We are super excited to have shown that to y'all today. Oh, every time I'm on Twitter, I'm like, Heavenly Light event, Izanami.
Yeah, Izanami's going to be in every single game. And everyone's going to have this tier 5 skin, I think.
And wait, and now it's out.
I mean, Izanami's going to be one of the most played ADCs in the game, right?
It's really impressive, man. I mean, the skin, every year we figure out a new way to push the boundaries with these tier 5s, and they keep doing it. I don't know how, but they keep doing it.
I mean, it's one of those where, like, I haven't been here super long, obviously, but I'm constantly like, what could they possibly do next? And then it finally shows up. It's there in front of me. I'm like, this is what they did next. What could they do next?
Mm-hmm.
And it just, I've said that we're up to like 7 or 8 nexts at this point. It's incredible. And season 9 is just going to continue to be an amazing season. We're going to continue to make the wild, exciting changes that we hope make it fun for everybody. And whew, my throat hurts. I'm so excited. So. Well, thank y'all so much. I mean, that's all we've got for this show, which it's hard to say because that was so much stuff. But I hope that y'all had a good time. Thank y'all for joining me on the show today.
Of course.
Yeah, love having y'all on, and we look forward to seeing y'all in the PTS. That'll be dropping a little later this week. Keep your eyes on Twitter. We'll let y'all know when that goes.
All right.
Across
Patch notes and Dunzo.
And, yeah, we look forward to seeing y'all in there. We look forward to that feedback that I will say one more time is so important to us. Y'all,
so, biggest thing with this, tanks are still going to be OP. SERQET's going to be fucking cracked again as an assassin. Berserker Shield could be scary if Hunters find a way to build it. What else? Most of the item changes buff hybrid builds. A lot. Or like just slightly. Builds that are already good or just better. Hebo's going to be, that Hebo knockup thing is going to be a weird transition. Your brain is gonna have to process not pausing. It's gonna be weird. It's gonna be very, very, very weird, I think. Dude, I wish I fucking